Good evening, CanesWear TV fans. Thank you so much for waiting through our delay. For those of you who had Gio first before Mondo, you won the bet, and we'll be parting prizes after. Gio won by about 30 seconds over Mondo, and then we had about 25 minutes of Mondo couldn't hear Gio, Gio couldn't hear Brett, Mondo couldn't hear Brett, but now we're back. And no, it wasn't one of those other pesky shows like Howard Stern said that sabotaged us, or maybe they did. Who knows? It was kind of crazy, but we are back. The fearsome threesome, the Stooges, the Musketeers, whatever you want to call us, are back for the best show in broadcasting. Want to thank Dono for last week stepping in for us. He did a phenomenal job. I know everybody wanted Dono. They said, please get rid of Brett, get rid of Mondo, bring on Dono and Gio together. And Mondo and I say, we agree too. We can sit there and watch it with our popcorn and enjoy it instead of have to be under these hot lights. So here we are. It's another great week for the Canes. A lot of excitement happening. Gio and Mondo, the two experts, are going to talk about it all night long. We're so excited. Everyone happy to hear it. Lots of great things for the CanesWear TV shows. We got lots of new people going to be on, a lot of exciting things. Thank you so much for everyone to be part of it. So without any further ado, let's bring on Mondo and Gio. How you doing, guys?
What's going on?
Doing good, Mondo. You?
All good. I hear the Canes might be doing okay on the recruiting realm.
I think a little more than okay.
Yes.
I mean, otherwise, for us, pretty bad tonight, just between the technical difficulties and everything. Just, I mean, Brett explained it like we had a camera go out. We had Mondo couldn't hear me, but could hear Brett. It was just wild. But we are here. We will answer the questions that everyone has. We're going to discuss some things tonight as well, but just glad it got up and running because I was worried. I'm like, oh man, if we have audio issues now, like I think Brett was going to have to do some sign language with Mondo, like Gio is saying this timeout, Hail Mary.
Yeah, we were practicing our sign language listening skills. I'm sure it would have been a rip-roaring show, but exciting times. Remember, brought to you by CanesWear, the Spot Miami Fan Shop. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Like and subscribe. The channel is growing fast. We're up to 1,700, over 1,700 subscribers now, which is phenomenal. So lots of great things happening. We've added some key personnel. We're growing fast, and we're very, very pumped. Remember, if you've got some good shorts or something like that, and we're not talking about the ones you wear, if you got some video and we can turn it into a short, please send it to us. So if it's original, and we'll go, if we put it, what was I giving Gio? A $10 gift card, a $25 gift card. 25 Gio wants to give. Wow, it's even better.
Oh no, right, I thought it was like referencing from before.
Okay, well there you go. So remember, we love to give out gift cards. We love to do things. Lots of great things we're going to be doing on this channel. We're talking about reveals. We're talking about drops. And I just saw a few backpack guys that are coming this year, and I am ecstatic. It is exciting as can be what we've got coming for this season. There are 3 different backpacks that'll blow your mind. So we are so excited about that. We got tons of jerseys coming into CanesWear. Yes, we did sell out of all the Malachis. We will have more Malachi. We will have, we should have Mensa. We will have a lot of special jerseys as well. Shorts, tanks. I mean, there are so many polos, so many cool stuff coming. I mean, who's ready? Let's see a show of hands. Who's ready for the season to start now? All right, 3 for 3, baby. All right, Gio, tell us some great things, Gio, that people are excited to hear about.
Looks like it's setting up for another pretty good week for Miami on the recruiting trail. You got Arosin AJ Randall, one of the top 50 ranked prospects in the entire country, 4-star from the Carolinas. He's going to be announcing his commitment. I'm sure everyone has seen crystal balls rolling. I rolled in a pick last week as well. It just right before he ended up announcing his specific date. I'm sure everyone has also seen some bad news in the sense that Jatori Williams, the 4-star offensive lineman from the state of Alabama, he extended out his commitment timeline to July the 4th. But hey, you know what? Maybe Miami will still get some fireworks there in July as well in form of a commitment. So his timeline's extended. However, the biggest news, if you were watching last week when I was on here with Dono, thank you to a good friend of mine, Alex Dono, for co-hosting the show last week. Did a phenomenal job as always, as he always does. A West Coast wide receiver, we were discussing, just some wide receiver options that Miami had and everything. And I mentioned what everyone has seen at this point, Quentin Hale and Eli Woodard, and Miami's pursuit of those guys. And I mentioned specifically with Dono, I said, look, between those two guys, the one that's actually been more reciprocal to Miami has been Eli Woodard. And lo and behold, he ends up decommitting from USC today. Some background on that, actually. So USC, they try to do this strict policy with their commitments that they tell them, hey, we don't want you taking visits to other places. Miami's even done some of that as well. They're not the only two programs in the country that do this, but I think it's very hard to position yourself as a program like that to tell a kid you can't take visits somewhere else, but yet you're not a playoff team. I'm not trying to knock USC down a peg, but I think you get that leverage, that strong hand in your favor with these prospects when you are competing at the highest level. So the kid ended up saying, you know what? Well, you're not going to let me take any visits. I'm just going to decommit anyways. And that's what ended up taking place. Miami's been out to see him multiple times now this offseason. They got plenty of momentum going there. And he, from what I've heard, could be an announcement this week. We'll see. Not sure on a specific timeline, but I have heard that it could happen as soon as this week. So would be a nice shot in the arm for Miami. You land two blue chippers again this week, coming off of flipping a 4-star corner who's committed to Oregon from the state of Alabama. You just had him on campus over the weekend in King Hall as well, and you paired him with Dante Wright. I know everyone was up in arms just over a week ago saying, oh, Miami, they forgot how to recruit. And Mario, how are they doing this? What's going on? The sky's falling. However, how quickly narratives change and turn. Yes, they didn't get Mark Matthews. I always said here, I felt that Notre Dame was really that team that was going to edge out Miami for David Falaroncho. That ended up taking place. There's just so much that was going on there with the connections between his coach, the trainer, former teammates, current teammates, and everything, just with the connections to Notre Dame. I think it was a lot for Miami to overcome. But Miami's fine. They're in the top 10. And actually, I want to go back to a certain point I used to say before when plenty of fans were in the doom and gloom side of things before Miami rolled off flipping a guy like Dante Wright from Georgia and beating out Oregon for him as well. Perspective is everything, baby. And Miami, they're doing just fine. Like I said, 3 5-stars, and it's still the month of May. Mario Cristobal has never had a single 5-star in any of these recruiting classes that he has had since he's arrived in the month of May. There's never been a single 5-star committed to Miami in the month of May. So Miami's ahead of schedule. I don't want to hear the negative Nancys, the flying monkeys anymore. None of that nonsense. Miami's fine. I am Mr. Positivity today. I always try to keep a balance and try to be fair. I'm being fair when it comes to the program. The program is on a good trajectory. Miami didn't forget how to recruit, and I think people are realizing that again very quickly.
I agree. Mondo, what's your thoughts on, did Miami forget how to recruit for a few weeks?
I mean, we're in the middle of May, and by hearing Gio, and I think it's going to be disappointing by July 4th if we don't have the number 1 kid in every state in the country the way things are going right now. I mean, California, Mississippi running back, Texas. This is crazy. This is literally – they just plucked the kid from that was committed to Oregon. This is they're doing it and then some, to say the least. They are really – it's out of control how good Miami's recruiting right now.
Actually, no, I want to take a correction from here. This is – really good pointing out, actually, by Tudo18, he said Cantwell was committed in May. That actually is true. You know what? Let me retract that. Only one 5-star in the month of May. So this shows the trajectory. I'm pushing some narratives here. Yes, I am pushing some narratives tonight. Cantwell committed in May last year, 5-star. Everyone knows, number 1 offensive lineman, number 1 overall prospect, depending on which recruiting site you look at. But to have 3 right now, and you haven't even got into the official visits yet. And then I talked about this with Dono last week, and he agreed with me that when you get to the later months, October, November, December, that last late stretch, and you're getting these kids in for the game day visits, you're getting them on campus, even some secret visits, that still happens till this day. When that takes place, I think fans might be forgetting a little bit, or a little bit of amnesia. The guys that Miami flipped at the end of the year last year, they got J.J. Dunnigan, Mylan Paris, they got Kashawn Stan. So that's just the trio of guys that come to mind. There was more. Miami's going to get a great nucleus of guys this summer. But between now through the month of July, they will continue to land guys. The class will fall somewhere within that range, around 20 guys or so, give or take. And they're going to take senior evaluations, the same thing that they did last year. A senior evaluation for them was Mylan Paris. He was a guy that really blew up on their radar. They went all in for him, especially he ended up backing off of his Iowa State commitment. So I don't think fans should get caught up in every single miss or anything of that sort right now in the month of May. There's so much that could happen. And I know there's going to be some of those fans out there that saying, oh my God, why is Gio being such a sunshine pumper tonight? But I'm just being realistic, man. It's the month of May. It's the month of May. You got 7 more months on this recruiting calendar. You're in the top 10 right now. If Miami lands 1 more 5-star in this class, yeah, it definitely could be a top 5 class just off the sheer volume of having 4 5-stars in one class. That hasn't happened in the modern recruiting era for Miami.
Really?
Having 4 5-stars in one class, that has not happened for Miami in the modern recruiting era. And they're in a position to potentially be able to do so. So, look, I can continue rambling on about it, but I think Miami's fine with recruiting. I think fans are coming a little more around to it again. There was a small little bad stretch, but you know what? The ebbs and flows of recruiting, that's all it is.
Yeah, last time I was on with Gio, Gio was a little bit taken aback, a little disappointed, a little upset at Canes fans being so negative. Some people make comments on that, but and we all agreed that Miami did not forget how to recruit. We cannot be up and down between every recruit. Great news. We lost this guy, but now we got Keys. We got this guy, and we may lose this guy, and we may not. And then we got Matthews, and Matthews is a young man. What is he, 18 years old?
Yes.
He's 18, and a lot of people were like taken a little bit aback about how he reacted to that was some show. What do you guys think about that show? Taking the hat, throwing one hat, picking it up, going, and then the shirt. Did you think it was a little over the top? If it's an 8, I mean, if you're the number 1 player of your position and supposed to be a leader of a team, what was he doing?
Look,
Mondo?
Go ahead, Mondo.
You go first.
Is this the part where I say Elko era? I mean, he pulls up the sweat. I mean, I'm all for personality and all that. They're kids, I get it, but pulling up the sweater, seeing the A&M jersey, 1 foot on the stool, the cowboy hat goes flying. Where's my cowboy hat? Like, come on, man. Like, dude, what? That was like a trip. And then he was interviewed soon thereafter, and then he's talking about getting other kids going to the Elko era and whatever.
It reminded me a little Robin Williams on Carson or something like that. The way he was going all over the place. And what was the thing? Was it? I mean, he went ahead. He picked up the Miami, and then he put it down. Then he picked up the Texas A&M. Then he picked up Texas A&M and threw the hat. Did that mean I'm not going to Texas A&M? Then he went to pick up Miami again. I mean, it was like
it was all over the place. It really was.
Yeah, what were your thoughts?
I'll tell you what. I think this is not to troll the kid or anything, but I think Kane fans will get this reference I'm about to say. I think he definitely could have had a dance off with Manny Diaz and Jalar Holly on the sideline. But my take on that whole announcement and whatnot, look, some kids are more about the pizzazz and everything. And this is not to knock the kid down a peg talent-wise. He's very talented. He absolutely is. There's a reason why Miami's still going to pursue him long-term. They have those plans to, maybe not full-on pursuit right now as he just made his commitment. And he doesn't plan, at least currently, to take his official visit to Miami. Things can obviously change in the recruiting world. It changes really quick these days with NIL and the agents and everything. But Miami does plan to pursue him long-term. And then when it comes to the announcement, again, not me pegging down his talent. I think he's a phenomenal talent. To me, yes, he is the best offensive lineman in the country this year. But I tend to believe that you don't want guys in your trenches to act a little bit like a diva. I look at the mentality of Mario Cristobal's roster, what he has built since he came in here. You look at guys like Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor, Francis Mauigoa in recent years, Inez Cooper, Matt Lee, Javion Gohan. Those guys were not the rah pizzazz and everything, and just look, like Ruben Bain had his usual his thing after a sack, whatever, but that's on the field. Like, you put that on the field, but off the field, these guys were all about business,
right?
Business mentality from before you walk through that door, and then when it comes to your preparation, your work ethic and everything. I'm not questioning the kid's work ethic, but I think from a character standpoint, I know every fans and whatnot, college football fans and general Miami fans, they'll all have their jokes or whatever about the whole thing with Matthews. But I think when it comes to what Miami's doing, I do have a question mark of, is that exactly the fit for them, for what they're trying to do up front? Like, damn be the talent. It's also the mental makeup of what you're bringing in the building too.
No, that's a great point. I mean, the game is physical. The game, you need to learn the playbook. You need to know everything. Offensive linemen's positions are so, it's not just about them, it's about the whole offense. And then you've got, you want to make sure that he's even keel. I mean, he hasn't been away from home. Okay, he's played, right? I mean, he's playing right here. And I hope he does. I mean, for him, I don't take anything away from the song, the dance, the pop and circumstance, like that rhyme. But I just think that you're right. You want to, there's a lot of pressure that's going to go along with him being that highly recruited, him getting that big of a paycheck, I'm sure, for an offensive lineman. And you got to say, I mean, I don't know why. Offensive linemen to me seem like they're usually more mature than some other players. I don't know. Maybe because they're bigger. Maybe they just have so much responsibility. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this one goes.
Absolutely. Mondo, any closing thoughts on Mark Matthews before I put it?
No question. I mean, obviously you compare him, like you mentioned, to a Bain who's 3-4 years older. You saw when Bain got drafted. ESPN or whoever, NFL Network, wanted all the players to look at the camera in that mirror and do a little dance. He wasn't having it. He walked up, grabbed his Bucks hat, and he just kept on moving. So, and again, I get it. He's 3 or 4 years older than this kid. And again, I'm all for personality. I'm always laughing, having a good time, but I don't know.
I'll be honest with you though, Mondo, because I covered Ruben Bain when he was in high school. I saw quite a few of his games actually over his last 2 seasons with Miami Central. Ruben Bain was always business, actually.
Yeah.
Like even when he was 17, 18 years old. But hey, you know what? Everyone is their own person.
Exactly.
I just think from like what Miami is doing up front, like I said, like the trenches. I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, great talent, but is the juice worth the squeeze at the end of the day? I think that's what it really boils down to. Like,
Yeah.
are you compromising anything?
I think going away for him may be difficult with seeing this, but we'll see. I don't want him to watch this. Because I'm sure he's watching right now, like everybody else in America, watching CanesWear TV. But I don't want him to say, I'll show those guys. But you know what? It's college football, all sports. The higher you get, the tighter the funnel gets. I mean, it gets to be a lot more competition. So we shall see. It'll be quite interesting.
Absolutely. So last footnote I'll put on recruiting. Today's show is just quick notes on recruiting. I want to get to some questions and whatnot. But last thing I'll say, any other potential names out there? One I want to specifically mention because Miami's ramping up their recruiting efforts when it comes to their safety targets. Few guys that come to mind, like Andre Hippolyte, who they offered right after the new year, a guy that has really surged in the recruiting rankings the last 3 or 4 months here now. Plays at North Miami Beach. I know Miami's felt pretty good about like the groundwork they've put in, but obviously no set date yet or anything. I know fans have discussed like, hey, like he's got to hop in the class because they got all these other guys they're going after and whatnot. Feedback I've gotten on that, actually, it seems like it's shaping up to be like a Miami and Florida battle for him. I'm not sure if there's any connections to Florida or whatnot, but I've heard some Florida buzz recently. I do think Miami has the opportunity to potentially win that recruitment. I do know that they're going to try to press the gas there. They really like him. They think he's a perfect fit as a safety in Corey Heatherman's defense. I would agree with that sentiment as well by watching the tape too. But some other names that come to mind, Torrey Pittman from the state of Nebraska, who's committed to the Cornhuskers. Miami's actually seen him a few times this offseason. There is some discussion potentially an official visit could take place. And look, Miami's not going to always take punches from Texas A&M. They're going to throw some punches back. A guy like Jaquan Snell, 5-star safety, committed to the Aggies. There is some interest there from his side. I know Texas A&M side says a lot that, it's not going to happen and whatnot. I'd probably classify it as a long shot itself too. But, hey, you know what? I thought Dante Wright, that ship possibly had sailed when Rashad Wadood stayed at Oregon. And you know what? Terry Jefferson opened everyone's eyes, not once, twice. So just my thoughts there on the whole safety thing and whatnot. I know some people have brought up those questions like, well, what happens with Hippolyte? What if this guy commits to that or whatever? They do want him, but I do think this is a situation of a first come, first serve between those three guys. And there's other guys they've had discussions with too this offseason as well. I know one guy that's kind of tapered off a bit. I don't think Miami's necessarily going in this direction anymore, but Mekhi Williams, who's up closer towards the Panhandle area of the state of Florida as well. A few other names that have been in the mix there. Zayden Gamble is a guy that also from St. Thomas Aquinas, who they're expressing a little more interest in, again, whatnot. He committed to Notre Dame a few weeks back, but I don't think that's necessarily going to materialize, but just some names to toss out. But for the most part, though, I do think there's a good chance Miami could have 2 commitments this week. We'll see if 3 comes along. But for the most part, like I've said, Miami's fine in recruiting. I don't think people should be worried right now. Just enjoy the ride. There will be even more beyond the summer. This happens every single year. And last thing I'll say, Brett and Mondo, your guys' thoughts on what's going on in the college football world, the discussion behind 24-team playoff, which I think is crazy. Mario flat out said it's crazy. Like, it just dilutes the game, which I've said before. I agree with Mario's sentiments there.
Yeah.
The 24-team playoff and the saga that continues evolving with Brendan Sorsby and that whole gambling scenario.
Yeah, as somebody who has partaken in table tennis live betting, I mean, you're betting on Turkish basketball, Sorsby. Come
It's
on, baby.
crazy.
Yeah, this guy.
He's
And now,
a degenerate, man. He's a
and now they
gambling
said that he's
degenerate.
suing the NCAA.
Mhm.
They're saying that he's suing the NCAA now.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, this guy. The word is he was betting on anything and everything. Like, oh, he was at Indiana, right? He was
Yep.
betting on Indiana before they were any good. This guy,
No,
man,
that's
he needs like 1-800 for life. That guy's nuts.
no. You have a gambling problem, and I'm not saying he does, but I'm not calling him out on that. But if you have a gambling problem, anybody, and you are betting, I mean, I've been known to. It's the 8th race in Gulfstream, Mexico, and it's 3 in the morning, and I got okay. Let me just see. Let's see the 7-8 exacta. But if you're in that position and when you're betting Turkish whatever and Turkish turtle races I mean, table tennis we can be. You obviously have a connection in the table tennis world, Mondo. So we're not going to go on there. You've got someone that feeds you the nobody knows that's how you really support all your habits. Table tennis, but if you're doing that and you're and you're the quarterback of a team and you got to be learning all that, and it's when you have money, you're going to need to gamble more. I mean, let's face it. They used to say about Michael Jordan. I mean, I know Michael Jordan's a gambler. It's fine if you're. You know what? You can't gamble if you're making a lot of money. The only thing is you still need the thrill. It's just you're not gambling $25 or $50 or $100. You're gambling $25,000, and people say, "Well, you're making $1 million. Who cares?" I mean, that money adds up, and it does take up a lot of your energy. You need to have the dopamine hit. You need to have the hit, the feel. It's not about winning or losing. It's just the feel of clicking the button to bet. I mean, gambling is an illness. I mean, a lot of people live normal lives and they have that illness. But gambling is no different than drinking alcohol. Wade Box, for many years ago, having a sex addiction. If you guys are old enough to remember that. But gambling, like I said, drinking, a lot of other things. I mean, addiction. It's drugs, whatever it is. Gambling is no different than, and it doesn't make somebody a bad person. They just can't control their urges. So, do I want to know that the guy is preparing for the game the next day, and he's worried about who's going to win the Turkish turtle race? That's a concern to me. And when I see Sorsby, I see all these Dolphin podcasters. Sorsby, the next to the Miami Dolphins. I'm thinking, what are these guys doing? I mean, no wonder why we're the top podcast in the industry. I mean, we're at least half normal. But it's I think that's crazy. So that's Sorsby. The 24 teams is ridiculous. I mean, 24. Now, I know you're saying, the NCAA, it got to 64 from 48, from 36, from 24, whatever it was originally. It's like, okay. And people would be, we just missed the cut. But 24 in football is crazy. We're going down to teams that have 3 or 4 losses in the 24.
I don't think there's even 20. Not even I think. I know there is not 24 teams in a given season that could win the national championship. The college football sport itself is so different from college basketball, because in college football, you got to have like the whole structure of the roster. In basketball is a little bit different. You could have some dynamite superstars on your roster and some really good role players, and you're ready to go. Like, you're not trying to fill out a 40 to 50 man depth chart, trying to make that push into the postseason. So I think that's much more difficult on the scale for like college football, just in general, like thinking 24 teams. Out of those 24 teams, and any given year, it's maybe 4 to 7 that could truly compete for that national championship. That's it. So to me,
a good number.
I think the nice medium, look, you want expansion, 16 teams, or you want that 24 team layout. You know what? How about like a play-in bubble? of within that 24, but like a play-in bubble, like the last 4 teams in, or something, because 24 teams, it dilutes the sport. And you know what? Like Mario Cristobal said, he basically, I can't remember now verbatim, but he pretty much deduced it down to, why even play the regular season? Why?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah. And that was always the great thing in the past about the regular season, where there was a time, Gio, I'm sure, and Brett, you remember, where if you had one loss, you're like, oh shit, we're done.
Yeah.
1 or 2 losses, your season was over. But that magnifies, like everybody's talking about November 7th, Miami at Notre Dame. And granted, that's going to be amazing. Probably 2 of the top 5 teams in the country. But if you ask us right now, you ask 95% of the fans out there, they're both going to be in the playoffs, most likely. But especially, well, with 12 teams, yes. Now, if it's 24, they're 100% in. So that kind of kills off the vibe when, like the NCAA, the March Madness, 76 teams. Really? And I get it. TV money, they all want to see more games. But do I need to see I thought pushing it to 12 was a lot. Do I really want to see number?
It's got to be 6. If they go to a number, it's 16, no buys. 4 of 4. And you know what? And what is the advantage? You say, well, because first of all, we found that 7 of the 8 buy teams have lost in the first 2 years of this experiment. So why did they want buys? But I think it should be no conference championships. It's 16 teams. 1 plays 16, 2 plays 15. So 1 has an advantage of playing 16. 2 has the advantage of playing 15. 3 plays 14, and so on and so on.
Yeah, but to me, and I remember it's football, so I want to see generally you're not every year probably going to see the 2 best teams, but do I really want to see number 1 and number 16? Then the star quarterback gets hurt, and then it's like, I don't want to see 1 against 16.
But here's where it gets better, though.
We can't stop progress. We can't stop money.
Here's where it gets better, though, because you remember how we were talking about this back in the winter, end of the regular season and whatnot, all the playoff rankings and everything, and even the possibility that a Duke team that's like 8-5 going into the playoffs, and like even the discussion behind that probably the committee would leave them out simply for having that many losses. So here's the thing that you're introducing. You go to 24 teams with that playoff. College football fans, I hope you are ready to see 8-4 teams in your college football playoff. Look at the polls year in and year out. Those last few teams, that the range of like 8-4, maybe a 9-3, like obviously a 7-5 team. They shouldn't win.
The national championship this year was January 19th. So what are we going to do? Have the Natty in February, like with the Super Bowl?
They say that it's going to be finished by this time always. So I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to have teams play every single week. It's not going to be 10. It's not going to be 12 days. So, even in the NFL playoffs now, you look at it, 20 teams make the playoffs in the NFL now, or is it 16?
No, 7. Only the first seed in each conference gets a bye. So
teams get in some of those divisions by a half or 1 game over 500.
Yeah, as somebody who loves football, I think 24 teams is absolutely insanity. Like, it's crazy.
No buys. And why go from 8 to 24? I mean, it's like it's a money grab. Now, granted, if there's no guarantee forever we're going to be in the top 8, and there's no guarantee. So if we're the 23rd team, the University of Miami, okay, the 23rd, we have a bad year. We lose 4 games, which has happened before, and we're going to be ecstatic to get into the play. No one's going to say, oh, it's 24, I don't care. You're in the dance, you got a chance of winning.
Yeah.
So it's going to get more fans interested. That I understand. It's going to bring more TV revenue. It's just that, you have a chance for injuries. Football, more than any other sport, has a chance for injuries. And so you're going to be playing, I just think 16 is the number. They're not going to care what I say, but 16 is the number. And so this year it's going to be 8, correct?
No, 12.
No, 12. 12.
This year is 12. Was it 12 last year?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
12, that's right. It was 12 last year. So this year it's going to be 12, and next year would go to 24, as they're saying?
Potentially.
They're talking about it. They're talking about it.
16 no buys. The buy system doesn't work. If I was a team that got a buy and I was one of the 7 of 8 buy teams that lost, I would be pissed off. All right, so we've covered that. Anything last thing?
Last part of today's segment. Obviously, everyone has seen the news. If you're a Miami Hurricane fan at this point, the Virginia Tech game being moved from a Friday night to Saturday night, late in that season too, which I think is crucial for Miami for that to not be a late season Friday night game. I think that helps out plenty. But just on the whole discussion of that, prior to that, Miami through the first 4 weeks of the season, at least their first 3 games, they don't play a Saturday game, actually. Their first Saturday game, last time I checked, unless there's any other schedule changes now, a few days ago, their first Saturday game will be against Central Michigan on September 26th.
I believe so, yes. Yeah, because they play Wake Forest on a Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. They play their home openers on a Thursday night against FAMU, is it? I think.
That is, yes, you're correct. That's FAMU.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. They don't play Saturday till the last last Saturday of the month. Sorry.
The Stanford game Friday night or a Saturday night?
Friday night.
Friday night. Okay, national TV and everything like that. Friday night. Then we play a Thursday night. Then we play a Friday night.
Yes, you play a Friday, a Thursday, a Friday, and then you finally have a Saturday game. Look, I'm not going to dog too much on the ACC, but however, that was set up and whatnot, I think that's kind of crazy that you don't have a single Saturday game until September is basically almost over. Like college footballs are meant for Saturdays. I know we all love some of our crazy
it's about money. It's about money. You see some teams playing on Tuesdays now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. It's like it used to be Saturdays. Between the NFL and them, they're all over the place. So, but at least 2 of those 3 games are on the road, correct?
Yes.
All right. So the Virginia Tech, they did us a favor. I mean, they dissed CanesWear we printed 10,000 schedule cards with the 20th for that game, but it is much better for business. It's much better for fans to be a Saturday night. It is officially Saturday night. Obviously,
yes, so it's a Saturday night game
for us.
Yeah, and obviously it'll be interesting to see how James Franklin does there, right?
Yeah, it's always a battle. Last year's game was it last year, the last second in the game, or was it the year before?
No, the year before.
Year before at home. I remember a game, the DJ Dallas game, that they were beating us badly. We came back, we took the lead, and then they won it. And they weren't even that good. So we're always Virginia Tech is never an easy game for us.
Yeah, it's always a tricky one, potential trap game, especially not even so much when Miami travels there. It's been more so when they come here.
Correct. Yeah. And Franklin's a good coach. You know what? He doesn't. He beats the teams he's supposed to beat. So it's you got him in the ACC. You got Bill Belichick we're playing this year. We'll see if Bill can turn it around. I will have to turn to our own Juan Manuel to find out what's going on behind the scenes there with Bill and Mrs. Bill. So once again, like and subscribe, CanesWear TV. We are building a powerhouse. Remember, before the show, I said, give us your best, the best game you've ever seen, TV or there. Let us know your best, the best game you remember, your favorite game, whatever. And we're going to pick one person at 10:30. I said so. I said 10:30, but I don't think we're going to have all the questions at that time. So we're going to probably have to push that back. But we're going to pick somebody for a $25 gift card. It's going to be at random. So without any further ado, ready to go to comments and questions?
Absolutely. Let's get right
bring it on.
And questions.
We need some kind of sound bite. Questions and comments. So we need a sound bite on that. So I know there is a sound bite machine here on this. So we'll have to figure that out.
Brett, I don't know if I'm seeing this correctly, but Mr. Hey Andy, was he the first one on today?
I thought I saw 8:17 p.m. Is that when? No, I see. I see Wayne.
I don't see it before then. Some of the older ones are not popping up for me.
Yeah, but yeah, there was one. Yeah, Hassan said what's it called earlier that he wanted to be first. So it's first one I see is. But thank you to everybody that jumped on before us. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate our fandom. We're at 1,000 viewers basically already. Wow, that's amazing, guys. Thank you very much. And for us being almost 1,000, and that's for us being technical difficulties. You guys are the greatest. They are the greatest.
Cafe 904, Duval in the house. Yes, Jacksonville. Thank you for stopping by. Cafe as always. Hassan said Juan Manuel is hot past a couple days, 85 degrees, but tomorrow the high will go down to the 60s. That's funny. Where's Waldo? I mean, Gio.
What time are you on, Gio? So I know where you're at. You're a little.
I'm West Coast. West Coast.
I know. What time are you on for like 8:17? I see. Hey, Andy from Wayne. What time are you on?
Yeah, I'm on 9:12 now. That's where I'm at.
So you don't see 8:17, 8:38?
No, I don't see that far back.
Okay, so let me just go. Let me just read those. Hey, Andy, Gio and Brett, you're the best of the best. Thank you, Hassan. You rock like always. Hassan, I tried to be on here first, but my fellow Canes brother Juan Manuel beat me. Damn, it was I was slacking. I came in fourth. Sorry, fellas. That's all right, Hassan. We won't hold it against you. What else we got here? Hassan, I bet Gio is Hassan. Juan Manuel reincarnated with all these comments. I bet Gio Hassan is Juan Manuel reincarnated with all these comments. Just want to say, hopefully Miami stays hot in recruiting. And what do you think of the USC wide receiver that decommitted, which we answered already? That was Hassan. Gio,
right? Yeah.
All right. Gio, remember, it's not a lie if you believe it. From Mr. Hey, calling up a Seinfeld reference, of course. Let's see. Howard Stern, Pop Cooney talking a lot of shit. He's saying they're going to drop the Brinks truck for Nick Lanier if he ends up taking a visit there. It's game on.
When it comes to the whole Pop Cooney thing, I remember when he was working at Miami, he used to work for the high schools as well. He's coached high school football down here in South Florida. Had some interactions with him over the years as well. Never necessarily had a problem with him, but I absolutely understand why Miami fans have taken the position of like, F this guy. I don't like this guy, whatever, because yeah, he is poking the bear a little bit. You know, he's put some little comments, some little gifs out there and everything. And obviously Miami fans are going to feel a certain way. So it is what it is. Also, when it comes to like the whole scenario of like when he was at Miami and then went to Texas A&M, that whole thing, how that went down, that was Jimbo Fisher was like, I think it was still the transition between Jimbo Fisher and Mike Elko. Cooney went over there. He actually was going for a promotion. Actually, he was going to be an on-field coach. I don't blame the guy for taking an on-field position. Like, you want to continue moving up. But then Elko came in. His role was kind of repurposed for Cooney as well. And, hey, you know what? He's done well at A&M. But, you know, I do think there's a little bit of discourse on, like, exactly what happened there. When it comes to Cooney and him going to A&M. Like, I've seen some people say, oh, Mario gave him the boot. It wasn't exactly that. Mario did not give Cooney the boot.
All right. Howard Stern, Gio, have you heard of Kelsey Adams, tackle committed to UGA, to Georgia? Yes. Supposedly Miami is going after him, trying to flip him. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, Miami has some interest in him, but I do want to caution, though, that they are still, like, interested and invested in the Mark Matthews recruitment long-term too. So I think this is just going to be one of those processes that gets drawn out a bit. Like, they'll look at some other tackles as well. Obviously they don't want to end up empty-handed, but I'm not expecting anything imminent, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to take anything away from Miami because they pulled out a couple rabbits out of their hat over the past 2 weeks.
Awesome. Wayne, so it seems we're going big on Eli Woodard, which we mentioned, I think. Yeah. Thoughts? Also, A.J. Randall Jr. commits Thursday. I've seen a lot of crystal balls towards Miami as of late. What are you hearing?
Yeah, so I spoke about him earlier. Yeah, I expect it to be Miami as long as nothing changes between now and the next 36 hours. So all systems go there.
All right.
There was a late scare from South Carolina. I've heard Ohio State's kind of bowed out of their recruitment now. They don't expect to land him. So I think Miami should be fine.
All right, great. Mr. Hay, there we Brad, if you ever find yourself with us. So we'll be on in a few minutes. The Canes will be on in a few minutes. Remember the CanesWear, drop your favorite game in there, and we're going to pick one randomly. Brett, voice check. Let's see. Cafe 904, Duval in the house. Thanks for joining, Duval. I think. Let's see. Hassan, one minute. Blah, 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 blah. Brett, come on, Gio. Why is you always late? Okay, let's forget about that. Gio's got a good story on that. Let's see. Hassan, Gio, is Miami taking one linebacker?
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. We're back to Gio. Thank goodness.
There we go. Hassan.
Great.
He said, Gio, is Miami taking one linebacker if AJ Randall commits to them, or are they taking two? And also, is Miami going after another safety after the safety committed to Clemson? So you're talking about Jarrell Chandler, who ended up committing to them. Miami tried to make a late run there. They actually preferred him at linebacker, Jarrell Chandler. But yeah, no, like I mentioned the other safeties that they're looking at earlier, Pittman and the rest of those guys, Hippolyte, Snell, Zayden Gamble. I know I mentioned one or two other names in there too, but no, they are going after another safety. They do want to add one more at least. And when it comes to the linebacker situation, like let's say hypothetically, AJ Randall follows through with Miami on Thursday evening. He announces at 6:00 Eastern that day. Miami's focus, at least right now, like core nucleus, Caden Henderson and Noah Glover from the state of Virginia. They really like Noah Glover. I've heard some Georgia buzz there too, but we'll see. He's got to take his official visits. I think he's got 4 or 5 visits set up. I believe Miami's is, I think it's the last weekend of May or it's the first weekend of June when he's going to be visiting Miami. So those are a couple names there. I know they still have some interest in Jalathan Mayfield, but I've heard some things that it's a little further down that short list that they have of linebackers they're after. So we'll see. And also they just took Javon Dawson. I know some people have taken the position. They probably think he's an edge, but he was recruited both by Heatherman and Coach Jason Taylor. It's one of those situations they love the guy. They love the measurables, how much he's continuing to improve. 5'6" guy from Palm Beach. A lot of talent that comes out of there over the years. But that's more of a they'll figure it out when he's at Miami type of situation. There's been some comparisons like, is he a type of prospect like an Arvell Reese, or some comparisons made to like a Marquise Lightfoot, athletic profile style wise, a guy like Kellen Wiley Jr., just similar athlete to those type of guys. So
just got to say something on buys. I mentioned the buy in football because it takes a while. I mean, the New York Knicks in basketball had a 6-month buy. It seemed a 6-month break. It seemed like they've been waiting and waiting and waiting. They're down in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes to go, 93-78. So rest is not a good thing sometimes. 15 points. They were dominating the last two. Just quite amazing. So it's good to get out there and play and just keep that heart pumping. But when you take that rest, sometimes it takes a lot of the edge off you.
Let's see. Brett had shared earlier. Okay, while we wait, best Canes game you remember. We will pick and answer randomly at 10:30 for. Okay, I don't know if it'll exactly be 10:30 because we're catching up on the questions because the technical difficulties earlier. But I am going to read these as people have popped them in though. So Mr. Hey said, 1983 national championship game. Nothing will ever beat that game. Nothing. Very true. Magical night.
I was there and I agree. That was the greatest game I've ever been at.
Hassan shared the 2001 game when Ken Dorsey hit Jeremy Shockey for the touchdown to take the lead. I believe he's talking about the one against FSU.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when Miami returned to dominance.
I agree. That was a phenomenal game as well.
Well, that was 2000. That was 2000, I think. That was 2000.
Yeah, that was 2000, the year before that. Yeah. Jose Gonzalez said 1983 was great, but I'll take the 87 championship because of how they bounced back from the 86 championship loss.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's true. Because that was key. Because, we lost the championship. Really, we would have had the championship if we would have beat Tennessee in 85, where we turned the opening kickoff. In 86, we know what happened with the fatigues. And then in 87, coming and winning that game, it got the monkey off of Jimmy's back. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, especially like remember. I mean, I wasn't alive for this, but I've seen all the tapes of the games when Jimmy and Miami lost to Tennessee back in '85. That was a big deal. The '85 year. That I've heard the stories of it. That fans were not too happy when that went down.
Brett, Gio's just trying to show us how young he is. You see that? I wasn't alive for that. You see
I've
that?
heard the story. I've heard the story.
He casually just slipped that in there, you know.
That's exactly. Mondo used to be young, and then he met Gio, and now he's like, oh my goodness.
No, 87. That was Steve Walsh. Steve Walsh was
So as I'm reading these responses from fans, I'm also taking down names too. So
that's why Gio is the best.
The winner is going to be randomly selected. So
yes,
Wayne shared here the loss to Clemson that got Golden Can. You know what?
That's a great game.
I'm going to tell you a story about that game. I actually sat through that whole entire game. And actually, I was there. I spent time with a recruit that was committed to Miami. He ended up signing with Miami, with Mark Rick and them. I was with Deontay Mullins and his family. And even Sam Bruce, rest in peace to his soul, Sam Bruce, the great Sam Bruce from Broward, was there as well. I remember watching that. In the stands at Hard Rock when the seats were still orange. When the seats were still orange and we didn't have the beams up top and everything, the Hard Rock looked very different back then.
Before the renovation.
Did not go back then. It looked very different. But I never forget it. I sat through that whole thing. And by the time that I left, I was just in disbelief. I'm like, okay, yeah, obviously this guy's going to get fired tomorrow. An absolute shellacking, but it was jarring to see Miami lose a game like that. Like, yeah, there was 48-0 to Virginia, the Orange Bowl thing, but 58-zip to Clemson. It was just, it was complete rock bottom. Like that was it. That was it. It was like, can Miami ever recover from this? That was the question at. You know what, Mario?
No doubt about that. And that was, I mean, a couple of weeks. Was it 1 week later or 2 weeks later that there was Halloween? 2 weeks later, that was the lateral play. That was unbelievable, that play, and that we felt so good after that game. Then we got blown up by North Carolina like a week later, wasn't it?
Andy said, other than the national championship game for me in the Orange Bowl, it was the Oklahoma game with the Boss. That game was just crazy. That game is forever immortalized.
Well, we did
Alonzo Highsmith's story and everything. That's amazing. Let's see. Jose said Boz was such a character in and after college. Very true.
Totally.
Sergio said here, Miami versus Cal 2024. I was there and the team was down 35-10 in the third quarter. You could hear a pin drop when Arroyo scored to take the lead.
Yeah. That game was crazy. If you think about it, I was watching that late at night. It was a late game. That was remarkable. That was crazy.
Cam just kept coming, and especially after he threw the interception for a touchdown. And when he came back to the huddle, they said, "Don't worry, we got this. We got this." He never gave up. And as somebody mentioned last week, and Gio were talking about us earlier, who would have thought that the 2004 the guy from 2024 season #1 pick was in that game, and so was the 2025 guy in that game. That was quite remarkable.
That's a game that's forever going to be immortalized simply off of that. Not only like what Ward did and the team with the comeback and everything, but the fact that both of the quarterbacks in that game who went #1 back to back, who would have, like Brett, like you said, like we were talking, me and Brett literally talked about this over the phone. It was either today or yesterday. We talked about it, and I said, I was like, it's crazy to think about. Like, who would have thought at that time that two #1 picks going head to head at quarterback?
And that game was a monster game. I mean, which Cam Ward ended up getting him the best. And it'll be interesting to see if these guys have some matchups in the NFL.
Absolutely,
that would be awesome. Yeah. Yes. Definitely some rivalry there going forward. Mr. Hay, for sure, for Oklahoma fans, he was larger than life. when he came here, the Orange Bowl, we shut that shit down.
Absolutely, you know.
Deepwater 1301, Ja'Cory Harris throwing the touchdown to beat FSU back in 2008 or something like that. That was crazy. That was what was it? He threw the pass to Greg Cooper, wasn't it?
I
Greg
think
Cooper. Yeah, I believe that pass was to Greg Cooper.
yeah, that was a scoring. That was a what was that, like 8 touchdowns throwing?
Was it Greg Cooper who had the game-winning touchdown, or was it Travis Benjamin?
But was that the game in Tallahassee or which game?
Tallahassee.
Yeah, because I went to I don't know if it was '08. I went in 2009, I think it was, to Tallahassee, and that was Travis Benjamin was on the team, and he scored. That game was, I don't know if that's the game that he's referencing, but I believe I went to that game, and that game was like 30. Where FSU on the last play of the game in the end zone, they called it a catch in the end zone, but then they reversed it. I don't know if that's the game that he's mentioning.
There's been so many great FSU games. I'm sure someone's going to mention the Brevin Jordan game when Nkosi came off the bench.
Yeah,
I remember one of the most lowest points for that rivalry. I remember Colin McCarthy ended up winning the game for Miami. It was the pick on Xavier Lee. That totally saved Miami in that game. I remember that when Florida State used to hype up Xavier Lee and Chris Weatherford. It just long storied rivalry.
No, I remember '95 or so. I was working for Mullinex Ford, actually, where Scotty Nicholas, Canes Hall of Famer, worked as well, and in Margate. And I remember watching that game and watching Florida State beat us like 48-0. I think that game was.
Oh, was that the one where Covington got ran into the goalpost on a play? That game?
We were just terrible. That was obviously before Butch
They
came.
like destroyed the shit out of us.
Exactly. Covington. It's a name you don't hear all the time. Great name, though.
Right. Thank you.
Here, Wayne said the Brock Berlin comeback against UF was pretty damn good. Very true. Yeah, Mr. Hayes said, Jose Gonzalez, I thoroughly enjoyed every game we beat.
I agree on that
We
one.
all do. Let's see. Catching up here. Mr. Hay said 2017 Notre Dame was the loudest game I've ever been to at Hard Rock Stadium. But it's not the loudest stadium I've ever been to. But that Notre Dame game was spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
That was as loud. And the Notre Dame guys said that was the loudest game. And even, was it Herbstreit or so that said, or that was the loudest game he's ever seen as well. So that was the new stadium. Because we have the corners and the reverberation, which really takes after Seattle, I think, because Seattle has that as well. And that was the loudest stadium. So we're right there. That's why I say sell at every game, and we have a chance of never losing at home. Never, Mondo. Never.
That's right.
Wayne shared here, I'd say the top 4 teams I enjoy beating are FSU, Florida, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. Hey, you know what? Every Miami fan got that wish this past season.
That's amazing.
Let's see. Go 21. Jose Gonzalez said, I agree, Wayne. Wayne said, get the bison burger with a side of.
Oh, by the way, just that's because I had the bison burger one out with Wayne and Mr. Hey. And we met a nice young lady that tried to convince to work for CanesWear, but that's another story. The Knicks, after I said that, went on an 18-1 run.
Really?
It's now 97-93 with 2.5 minutes to go.
NBA is crazy. Just real quick, a quick aside. I thought we were going back and forth on the chat about it, Gio. This Wemby kid is 22 years old. What he did yesterday was just, man.
Oh, phenomenal.
You know what? I saw this funny post on X after the game.
Oh, Holmgren, you posted it. I saw it. Yes.
Well, the Chet Holmgren one, he's McLovin. Yeah, that one. I sent that to Steve Kim too, because Steve Kim does the show with Coach JB, and they were talking about it.
Right.
About like Holmgren and his performance. But I saw another thing where it was this NBA fan, like he was joking around. He said, you know what? He said, we had the guy we had built in a lab in the USA, Zion Williamson, he's obsessed with like OnlyFans women and like eating too much. And then, these guys over there overseas, They got Victor Wembanyama, who's like 7'3" freak show, and he's training with monks in the offseason.
Yeah. But it's just the way he dribbles. He doesn't dribble like somebody 7'4", 7'5".
No,
he can dribble. It's crazy.
Let's
That was
see.
amazing.
Five Rings said OSU, Notre Dame, Florida, FSU, and Georgia. I hate with a passion. I'm pretty much there with you on the Georgia thing too. They've been trying to take some zingers at Miami in the past year actually. Even Kirby Smart's tried to, but Mario's handled that. Mr. Hey, let's see. Jose Gonzalez. I really, really hope we get Georgia in the playoffs this year. Came really close to happening last year if Georgia didn't forget how to play defense. Mr. Hey, I think they will be. They have a great chance. Wayne said maybe he would have moved faster if he had a club. Howard Stern, did you into the transfer portal? No, never, Howard. Never, Howard. Jose Gonzalez. Georgia had to stop for his. Gio had to stop for his Arizona dream. No Arizona today. I'm gonna be.
I don't mean to interrupt, but the Knicks just tied the game with 40 seconds left. I can't believe it.
Wow.
99-99. Holy crap. Crazy.
Let's see here. Mr. Hayes, FIU picked him up. Let's hire Donovan full time. Georgia. Howard Stern said, Gio, where do you see Miami using the money that they had to put away from Mark Matthews now? Well, good point you make, because everything also boils down to allocation. As much as fans may not want to believe, like Texas A&M has allocation as well. Even Texas Tech, you just not an open checkbook on every single player. There's a certain allotment and what you're willing to spend on certain players and whatnot. Miami operates the same way. Ohio State does the same thing. Georgia does the same thing. Every program does this. Oregon does the same too. So, I mean, it really depends, because they plan to pursue him long term. So I've always said this too, that he is one of those guys that they're willing to put up the compensation for. They always have those few select guys year in, year out that they will do that for. But I think it's just very difficult to say exactly what players they would allocate that for. But I'm sure it would be dispersed pretty evenly considering if Matthews doesn't end up at Miami at the final buzzer. So Wayne said here, LOL, Howard, he's dropping the depth chart. Mr. Hayes said 99 cents. Yep. Wayne, we're getting the Temo version of the podcast. Yeah, no, we were late today. Is all the everything is a disaster, but we made it. Andy said, "Okay, Joe."
Getting the Temo version of the
He
podcast.
said Miami, Louisville. Cafe said Miami versus Louisville game is on ESPNU. I haven't looked at that of the broadcast information for the games. Actually, if that's true, that's terrible. Why is Miami Louisville going to be?
Is that tomorrow?
No, unless he means that they're replaying last year's game. I think that's what he means. No,
Okay, yeah, okay.
I'm assuming there. I mean, yeah.
Let's see. Andy said, yeah, they showed all the games of Miami on ESPN today.
Oh, there you go.
Watch them tomorrow as well. Okay.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Let's see, Cafe.
Yeah, Cafe confirmed it. Yeah, there you go.
That game went to overtime. It's amazing.
Okay, now I got up to the questions of when we were starting. So Hassan asked here, Gio, what did you think of D-Money and Pete's breakup? And now Aman is his new co-host.
Sorry.
Quite an opening question for when the show actually opened up. So look, how do I put this into the best words? I know all those guys in real life because it's funny.
Life? In real life? Okay.
I'm in quite a few group chats with Cane fans and everything, and there's just all these little jokes going on and everything, and people are saying stuff about Peter, and people said stuff about Amon, people said stuff about D-Money, some people said stuff about me. All jokes at the end of the day, but I know all three of these guys in person. The reality is, I'm going to put it this way: business is business and personal is personal, and whatever the reasoning was or whatever that Danny made the decision that he made, that's up to Danny. I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, he did the right move or the wrong move or whatever. I'm always going to be the person that just stays neutral. I will just be in the middle because I don't feel like taking a side either. I'm not going to take a side and say, oh, no, this guy's right and this guy's wrong. I know fans in general, though, are going to do that just naturally, just the gossip and the drama of it and whatnot. But I don't think it's as deep, like as deep as some people are making it out to be. I've seen some fans even arguing back and forth like, no, I liked it better with this guy, or I like it better with this guy, or whatever. And look, it is what it is. And then the other thing, like I know, Hassan, you're probably asking like about Amon as well. Look, I've known Amon for quite some time, good friends with him. Nothing personal there, honestly. Like, you know, there was like schedule conflicts like that me and Amon had going on and whatnot. And it is what it is. It is better fit for him. Everyone has seen, you know, like I've been doing a lot of other things. It is what it is at the end of the day. Everyone finds their place. Everyone finds their role. Bottom line. That's all it boils down to.
No, just one thing I'll add on that, because obviously, and I just want to see D-Money. D-Money gave his little take on it, and then Peter gave his take on it. So we just got Gio's take on it. I will say when Peter started, I met him, and we started, and he did it at CanesWear. It was the CanesWear podcast for Canes Insight. It was great. We had a great relationship for 3 years. Then Peter went to be an agent, and then Danny and I would work together. So I sponsored them for 9 years or so, which was awesome. And and Danny's a great guy, and Peter's and Peter too. Danny, he even mentioned thank you to Brett, which was awfully nice on his. I thought that was awfully nice on his. He mentioned me on that, which was awfully nice, because who the heck am I? But in this game, but it was interesting that I was with Canes Insight, you with Amon last, I was with both, and now you and I are together, or you, and sometimes it's the living me, and then we've got Amon and Danny, and now Peter will do what he does. There's so many podcasts out there. Absolutely. You could say when Peter started his podcast, he was the first. I don't even think
in terms of like podcasts,
was Gary doing it at that time? I don't know. But Peter, when he came and he had the idea and reached out and he sponsored, me and him got together. I don't think anybody else was doing it. And it was awesome. He was interviewing the high school kids, and great, right? In our little 1,000-square-foot store. So I think everybody's done well and everybody's come about this, but I think it's going to be exciting what happens. But it's going to be really exciting. When things like that happen, everybody's talking about it. We like everybody. I think all three of us are fans of everybody in this industry. I mean, we're all Canes fans first, and then whatever. One thing about our network, it's not about Gio. It's not about me. It's not about Mondo. We're planning on having a lot of different personalities on here. We want to build this to be a lot of different like faces and voices and things like that. So, but it is interesting. It is exciting. And I think we all, especially in the off season, it's like, you know, Peter, Danny, Peter. Reminds me years ago, if you're a Neil Rogers fan, when Jimmy Johnson took over the Dolphins, and he'd always say, Jimmy, Danny, Danny, Jimmy, Jimmy, Danny, Danny, Jimmy. And that's what this Peter, Danny seems like. But both, you know, everybody is, I hope everybody does fantastic in this business. I know what they say, nice guys finish last, but we are the nice guys. And there's a lot of other nice guys too. So, but I do believe this adds a lot of fun and interest to the podcast business. So we are excited going forward.
Yeah. Look, like I said, everyone falls into a certain place. Things change too over time. It is what it is. Look, like I'll give everyone a perfect example. I'm sure plenty of people remember when I worked at LifeWall and everything. Sometimes things change. It changes. Not every single thing is forever. It all depends. Everything changes. So, look, that's my whole take on it. I know all those guys in person. I mean, as far as I know, there's no real like animosity or anything, or anyone like cursing at each other like I hate your guts or anything like. I think some Cane fans think that's what's going on in the background, though.
I mean, yeah, we love everybody. Peter wants his own show on CanesWear TV. I mean, we would invite that as well. So, Peter, if you're watching, feel free to reach out.
Let's see. Andy said here, Brett Caldano.
Donald trips me out because he keeps harping on whenever he goes on vacation, we get a big time recruit.
It's
the
true,
best.
though.
It's true, yeah.
I think Master Hay put that out when Gio wasn't here yet. Brad called Dono.
Well, then again, earlier this year, I think Donald was in Italy for like 400 days.
Remember that?
He was posted like every Italian dish in the whole country.
He was gone forever.
That's funny. So Deepwater said here, Pete needed to go. The split was inevitable between those two. Look, everyone's going to have an opinion. If you want my opinion, I never really had the time to watch their show extensively. Like, I'd see it here or there or little clips and everything. I think Pete balanced things out. That's just my take. You know, not everyone's going to have that same opinion, but I think Pete did very well in that role of like devil's advocate. But you know, like, what about this? Like, I think sometimes you need that balance. It just every show has a different flavor, different style. Look, there's no perfect cookie cutter fit. There's not.
No, there's people that are going to like one guy, and everybody has an opinion on everything. That's what makes life so great. That's why there's more. They don't just make chocolate and vanilla.
Jose Gonzalez said his comics on Canes Night. You guys are too funny. Let's see. One, you ain't right. Let's see. All right, we're starting to catch up here. Let's see. Here, 2, 1, kudos for stuff. Deepwater said, "Why is y'all stuff broke? Time for an upgrade, you." Deepwater, it was crazy before we got on. It was, you know, I had an issue with a backlighting here. Mondo couldn't hear me either, but I could hear him. Brett could hear him too. It was wild, but
yeah, it was like who can hear who? Mondo heard you. He didn't hear me. Then he couldn't. I signed out. He heard me, but he couldn't hear you. It was too funny.
We didn't go to that broadcast school for nothing, baby.
Cafe 904. Did Gio transfer to USC? Never. I will say though, if there was a team that I wouldn't say that I loved them, but that I semi enjoyed watching, aside from Miami growing up, I was always loved Miami. But if there was another team that I sort of liked, it was USC because I felt like they were pretty close to what Miami was, but on the West Coast, like very similar style.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah. Well, those teams were great. When you were growing up, 30, you probably, because I went to that Orange Bowl, USC against Oklahoma, and obviously Reggie Bush was there, Matt Leinart. Who was the wide receiver again there?
They had a few guys. They had Dwayne Jarrett. I know they had another guy as well.
There was another guy on that team that was a star. But Leinart just had to throw the ball up, and they were open all the time.
Running backs, they had
Reggie Bush. Yeah.
And Reggie Bush and Lendale White. They had a hell of a 1-2 combo. Running back.
Too. Good point.
They also had a linebacker on that team. I think his name was Keith Rivers. I believe he was drafted by the Bengals. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a Florida kid, actually.
Yeah, he was.
Mr. Hey said, "This is what happens, guys, when they don't pay their phone bill, their light bill, electric bill."
Mr. Hey, we may need some money.
Hey.
Hey.
Howard Stern said, "I think Mark Matthews broke Gio and Brett's camera with all that bullshit."
Where's my cowboy hat?
We should have worn our cowboy hats.
So everybody's talking about but to me, like he again, I'll repeat it. He puts one foot on the chair, he falls down, the hat goes flying. Where's my cowboy hat? Like, what's going on here?
Howard Stern said, "Grab a podcast about Miami football and the city of Miami with Abella Danger. It will be effing amazing." You know what? I may take you up on that, Howard Stern. I will personally reach out to her.
All right.
I tell you what, if Monica sees me on that episode, I'm dead. This is to let you know. You'll see my skeleton here.
Right? Can I bring her on here? Because I will reach out.
All right. I absolutely whatever.
Okay. I know. You know what's funny? I have a few text chains with some Canes fans, aside from group chats on X, but I have some text chains, and there's always certain comments that are like, "Oh, hey Bella, this, hey Bella, that." I'm just like, And now it comes
Oh
to
my
my
God.
mind. I'm like, I know several people that would be interested in that show.
Hey, listen, we got to
Jeez.
stand out sometimes.
Deepwater 1301, about damn time. Sergio said it should have been good morning, Brett. Yeah. Hassan said, there they are. 305 Sports Now. Will, thank you for stopping by. Thank you,
Oh,
my man.
Big Willie.
Andy said, welcome back. Wayne said, welcome back. Possum Jenkin, thank you for always stopping by. Cafe. Heel 919. Pete, hop in.
Where's Juan Manuel at?
No, he's been in there.
Oh, he's been in there. Okay.
Possum Jenkins said right on time. Lance Davis, thank you for stopping by. He said, sup, Canes? We got some Canes over here.
Oh, yeah.
Possum, who, if any, recruits that we currently have that you don't think will stick with us? That's an interesting one, actually. So I'm just remembering all the commits in my head right now from position by position, starting from quarterback down. I will say this. Not that I think that it happens, but I know that Miami's still in like the process of evaluating tight ends. They moved on from another kid recently as well. Not saying that this does happen, but like DeMarcus DeRoche, like really good athlete and whatnot. Not sure exactly what Miami's plan is long term to do with tight end for this class. We'll see as things progress, but not saying they will move on from or anything of that sort. But I think if there's someone I'm eyeing, like, a little bit of injury history there or whatnot, not saying that they will, though. Don't start running with that. Just kind of editorializing here. But yeah, I'd say maybe just that out of all the other ones that I could think of right now. I can't think of anyone else. Howard Stern said, Jonathan Hernandez, the coach of Bethune-Cookman, is going to be the next coach of Miami Hurricanes baseball. Hialeah's finest. Time to send Arteaga packing. Mondo, do you know who
he actually, because I played ball at Hialeah in 94, 95. He was a state champion twice. 2001, 2002. He's been the Bethune-Cookman, the last head coach. He won the SWAC conference, I believe, last year. They're going to win it again this year. Word is he's going to get a lot of D1 offers coming up. He is kicking ass. Yeah, they won at UF this season. They won at LSU. LSU's a powerhouse. They beat at LSU.
Wow.
It's not easy to beat LSU in baseball. So, yeah, the word is his name is starting to circle in a lot of spot. He's gonna get D1 offers left and right very soon. Will he take it? I don't know, but he's a hot name out there right now. Yes,
find out how serious Miami is about wanting their baseball team.
Because obviously Bethune is not a baseball powerhouse by any means, and he's done very, very well. And the schools in Daytona, and as you know, up in Daytona Beach, he's done really good. Yeah, he's a local guy. He's from here.
If
He's
Jay wins the regionals or wins the ACC tournament or the regionals, he's not going anywhere, I think.
I mean, you saw last season, people were complaining about the ACC record and all that, but somehow, some way, they made it to one game from Omaha. The problem is this year, I think there's a really good account you can follow called @Canes Research. Comes up with numbers left and right. They've got it's a very good account. 81 errors this season. They've got like 50 something games of multiple errors. The defense has really been a problem. Like, I'm not breaking groundbreaking news, but the bullpen and defense has been pretty abysmal. And Cuvée, he's been out. Cuvé's been out with a back for like a month.
Yeah, that's huge.
So, yeah, they, on a positive note, Rob Evans is pitching tomorrow against Stanford in their ACC tournament opener at 1 o'clock, but it's going to take some divine intervention. They haven't been looking too hot, to say the least, in the last couple of weeks.
Well, we'll see.
But that's a good point by Howard Stern. The guy that name right there is starting to pop around. Yes,
I will say though, I don't know if it would happen this year though. Like, not that I'm saying I'm trying to force anyone out the door or what the sorts of that, but if it were to happen, I don't know if it would happen this year though, with the change with the athletic director and everything. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
He was one game from Omaha. Whether you like him or not, he was one game from Omaha last year. So he's got that. And I tell people all the time, whether you like him or not, that's going to give him some rope and some time. You know, if that wouldn't have happened, then I think it might be the chopping block. But I think that's going to buy him some time. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that they've been very good, because they haven't been. They really haven't been.
No, man.
Yeah, if the fundamentals are breaking down, like the errors and things like that.
I mean, 81, Brett, 81 errors. That's like
now who is it?
It's a veteran team. It's not a young squad at all.
These kids have been fielding their whole lives. Coaching can't. I mean, there's only so much coaching can do. The question is, are they motivated? That's the question. If they're not motivated and it's lackluster, that's a different story.
No, but even then, it's not. It's a veteran ball club. It's very surprising how mediocre they are. What's that?
How do they make that many errors?
Well, they've got like I said, 81 errors and 50, I think 40 or 50 games with at least 2 errors in a game. It's crazy to me. Yeah, it's insane. It's insanity.
Howard Stern said a question for you, Brett. Brett, do you have any Miami Hurricanes pickleball gear? If not, I suggest you get some. It is blowing up.
Pickleball is blowing up between little kids are playing it. I know it started with seniors, but kids everywhere are playing it. It's crazy right now. But you're right. We had pickleball paddles, the Franklins. We did sell them out. We had a special diadem, orange and green one. Haven't sold those out. It has not been as big as we thought it would be for team items, but we are always looking at that. And so the problem is they come out with these licensed ones at over $200, which is not, it's expensive to get a pickleball paddle. But I'd like to get the bags and other things so you can hold and certain things. So
have you guys played? I have not played. I have not once.
One time I did enjoy it. I do need to play a little bit more. But Howard Stern, we're always looking at that. Thanks for bringing it up. We'll look at some more things for the season.
Better Duck is here, everybody.
All right.
Duck. Run the football. Run the football.
Leather helmet football. Yes.
There it is. I love when Gio says it, I laugh like a kid. I'm sorry.
Andy said here, Dale Dawkins, the great number 11.
Yes.
Golf event in Vero Beach on June 27th. If interested, drop a like.
That's what I
are welcome.
Yes, that's a great event. If anybody's interested, I'll put you in touch. Gio and I may go live over there or just recording and meeting all the players. There is also the University of Miami fishing tournament that weekend, but there will be a lot of Canes. There's a lot happening for Canes fans. But the Dale Dawkins tournament in Vero Beach should be very exciting.
Absolutely. And Blue Green Street, can we host for regionals Monday?
305 Sports Now, like and subscribe. Absolutely, thank you. Go ahead, like and subscribe. We're at 1,700. Our next goal is 2,000. So let's see how fast we can get there. We appreciate each and every one of you.
What's the question about? Is that for baseball? Obviously, host for regionals. No, right now they're actually playing tomorrow in the quote unquote second round of the ACC tournament. I think even if they win out, I think no, it's like slim to none.
So we have very little chance of getting regionals, you're saying?
No, they're going to get into the tournament. But
I know.
Hosting? Nah. I mean, I'd be shocked. If they win the ACC tournament somehow, maybe. But they're RPI and all that, they're like way behind numerous programs. Yeah. I doubt it.
But hopefully those programs lose. And well, no, it doesn't matter.
Well, they do it. Rob Evans has been a pleasant surprise this season. He's been a really good pitcher, so he's pitching tomorrow. So that gives them a shot right off the back. Because once it gets past him, we saw what happened the first game against FSU last Friday, where they were up 6-1 after the kid pitched 7 innings, 108 pitches in Tallahassee. He pitches hard out, and then we just blow it in the 8th and 9th, or 10th, 11th, whatever it was. So
that was a terrible loss. Hopefully,
Jose Gonzalez with a U, Ralph 3986. Gio, how many top 5-star kids is Mario ending up with in this class? Well, I said many, many months ago, if you listen to this show, I set the line at, I think, minimum that can be done is 4. Miami's at 3 now. Let's see. Lance Davis, download the app, fellas. Wish we could teleport to game day. Damn right. Let's get some damn linebackers. Oh, he downloaded the app. Thank you, Lance.
Thank you. Yes, Lance. Thank you. Download that app. We got a lot of things. We're working on that. There's some extra specials on there. There's going to be quizzes for gift cards, a lot of things going, trying to hit a certain number before all that happens. So thank you so much, Lance. Please download the app. And that has been a message.
Howard Stern said, serious question, is Mark Matthews and Magic Johnson's son identical?
Oh,
That's
geez.
mean, Howard Stern.
You were doing so well, Howard Stern. Oh, damn.
One man well, but he's not a 5-star receiver. No, Howard Stern. Mark Matthews and Magic Johnson's son are not twins. They are part. Oh,
Wow.
Howard Stern said, Will Harris and Eli Woodard's family and those of them are real close. I did not know that specific fact, actually. I knew some other things surrounding that recruitment, but I did not know that. It's interesting. Jose Gonzalez said, Howard Stern. Lance Davis said CW 16% off app purchase. Yeah, that's on
Correct.
the app.
Those are app purchases right now. Thank you. Only on the app. Thank you for pointing that out, Lance.
So Brett Larson from X, good friend of and buddy of mine, has been in some group chats I've been in for years. He shared here, just joined. Gio, where do you see Mario goes with offensive line besides continuing to recruit Mark Matthews? So I think there's some options on the table. Like mentioned earlier, the kid that's committed to Georgia, Joshua Sam Appel, who's also another guy from the state of Georgia as well. Those are potential options there. I don't expect them to circle back on Oluwasemewo or Olubowolo. I don't think that happens. Their main focus is getting like another tackle in the class outside of wanting to land Jatori Williams in July. That's their main focus. But look, if it materializes for them, then yeah, I think they're going to play it more by ear that, as the offseason and the season continues to progress, they'll kind of get the heat check on things with Mark Matthews. Look, I'm sure they're going to try their best to get him in for game day visits. He's right down the road. He's not that far. It's no stranger to Miami, too. They've done it before with kids committed to other programs that are local guys. So would I put it past Miami that they get him on campus or down for a game sometime this year? No, it wouldn't shock me at all. But that's kind of just where things stand right now.
Yeah, Brett, real quick, Gio, before you keep on, Brett is one of my favorites because, as you know, there's 24 hours in a day. He wants one recruit every hour. Like, he gets pissed. I mean,
yeah.
It's like 6 p.m. We got a recruit yet? Love that guy.
Juan Manuel said, how good is Woodard? Can he run? We need speed. So he's got a verified 10.91 in the 100-meter dash. Can run plenty. Actually, this past year, everyone talks about him as a receiver, but I think people don't know this about him. Pretty decent return man, too. Averaged over 30 yards per return on kickoffs, over like 13, 14 yards on punt returns. He had about like 8 punt returns last year that he fielded. And receiving-wise, the kid had – hold on. I have the exact number here because I was gathering some things on him for when he does make his announcement, just preparing some things ahead of time. And where's it at? I just had it. Here we go. So this past season, here's the numbers for Eli Woodard. So he's 6 foot, 185 pounds. This past season, he produced 1,070 receiving yards on 51 receptions. That's 21 yard per catch average and 17 receiving touchdowns, in addition to 8 kickoff returns for 264 yards, 5 punt returns for 70 yards. He also started on defense at cornerback, 32 tackles, 7 pass deflections, and 1 interception, and returned one of those interceptions for 64 yards in 12 games. In 12 games as a junior for his high school football program. He's not originally from California, though. He's actually from the St. Louis area, St. Louis, Missouri. So, yeah, look, I think it's a good get for Miami. If people are curious, like, where exactly he's going to play, I've heard they really like him as a slot receiver in this class. So, Raf Lopez, thank you for stopping by. He said, it's comical seeing anyone questioning Mario's talent acquisition. I'm with you, my man. I look back to certain guys that he's landed that were 3-star recruits. Ahmad Moten was a 3-star guy. Inez Cooper, OJ Frederic, these were all 3-star players coming out of high school. So they definitely have a system in place that's working. They've landed like really good evaluations throughout the years.
Just you mentioning over 20 yards a catch. I know there's only 2 NFL players with over 250 receptions that have averaged over 20 yards per catch in their career. Not for anything, but just name those players. It's easy to look up. So, but name those players. Let's see if we'll get some of the. You guys can think about it. We'll get some of the guys. Or do you guys know who it is?
Wait, phrase the question again so I could understand it well.
20 yards to catch in their career. All right, with over 250 receptions.
Right. I'm sorry. Say it again, bro.
NFL receivers in the
Okay.
history of the NFL have had over 250 receptions and over 20 yards per reception in the career. One of them is in the Hall of Fame, one is not.
20 yards receiving average. Sheesh.
I know very well he had a touchdown every 5 times he caught the ball.
But these are Hurricanes you're talking about, or anybody in general? You mean?
NFL. This is just the NFL.
I'm gonna say one that I think it may be Sterling Sharp.
No.
Yeah,
Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah, because 20 is a huge average. Usually it's like 15, 16, 7. 20 is like massive.
It's really good.
One played in the 70s. I think one played in the 80s, 90s. One's name was the mascot of the other team that the other player was. So one team had a mascot, and the guy's name was the mascot. The other guy. All right, let's see if anybody can guess it without looking it up.
Let's see here. Lance Davis said, I'm going to wager yesterday. Ralph Lauren Jr., thank you for stopping by. Hello, man himself. He said, do you see us getting another 5-star or 2? I mean, I set the line months ago that I felt at minimum 4 for Miami this cycle that I felt was doable. Let's see who they're still involved with. They're still going to chase down Mark Matthews to the end. I mean, I don't know if chase down is the right word. You know, there'll be some distance right now and whatnot to an extent. I'm sure things will ramp up in the fall, but guys that they're involved with 5 stars. I know there's still some lingering interest in Munchin Sales, 5-star receiver, big 6'4", 6'5" receiver, but I think that's a really tough recruitment for Miami to crack. Most people expect him to go Ohio State, Indiana. Who else would I throw out there? Defensive end-wise, guys like Jaden Bryant and DJ Jacobs they're going after. I sit on the side that Miami has a better shot with DJ Jacobs. I think it's going to be really difficult for them to get in the Jaden Bryant recruitment. We'll see. I know they've been trying to chip away at that. I know he visited over the spring as well, but we'll see. Those are other guys they're involved with. They're involved with Caden Henderson. Look, there's a chance AJ Randall, who's going to be committing on Thursday, he's a top 50 recruit. He could slide into being a 5-star by the end of this cycle. He's continued to rapidly rise. Another guy I even point to as well, like currently committed, the Iking Hall, who committed to Miami over the weekend, who flipped from Oregon. That kid was unranked like 2.5, 3 months ago. Like he's blown up rapidly in the rankings. He's like a top 70 recruit now. So he could continue to move up himself. And any other names to throw out there they're involved with? The 5-star safety, Jaquan Snell from Texas A&M, but I think that one's going to be really difficult. But yeah, I still think there's a chance. So like I said before, I felt a couple months back, I set the line at 4 minimum. I think it's doable. I think they still have a chance to do 4 or 5 stars in this class. And I think with 4 or 5 stars, you could have a top 5 class. I do think so.
Good.
Howard Stern said, Mark Matthews might be an All-American and NFL player, but he's going to go to us for oh, RuPaul. Oh, man. Ralph Lopez, 43 years watching the Canes, never seen this level of recruiting depth. Very true.
Yes, I agree.
The only thing that comes close to it, Butch Davis.
Yes.
Well, Butch Davis and Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson was a hell of a recruiter from stories I hear from historians that were around the program at that time.
Historians,
Yes.
also known as old people. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
One of those historians I know, Steve Kim, he's like the encyclopedia of those times.
Yeah, I mess with him. I always like hit him up. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna find something one day that you don't know something about Miami. Like he'll name like the 4th string linebacker from 1983. It's crazy. It really is.
Juan Manuel said negative Nancing and Flying Monkeys are on, leaving to Las Vegas to play and bet casino with Brendan Sorsby of Texas Tech. He has free time now. Lance Davis, can't wait for a 3rd string to mollywop all of the ACC this year when we blow out teams like we used to 20 years ago. At Raf Lopez, been with him since Schnellenberger. Very true. I would like to see Miami to extend those leads more. Howard Stern, we need to change Mario's nickname in recruiting to 5-star flipper. Hey, look, Howard Stern, very positive right now. I remember he was a little negative 2 weeks ago.
Thank you.
Wayne said here, but even though we get them to commit, we have to hold on to them. Very true.
Wayne's trying to be a little negative there.
Wayne, here's the thing that I'll share with you. When it comes to Miami and why you don't see a whole lot of turnover from the guys that are committed within their recruiting classes, Miami has a very thorough process with even allowing these guys to commit. Like, I know that they want kids to see how Miami practices so that they know what they're signing up for, what they're getting into. And the other thing too, there's some kids that like just want to commit right there on the spot. And sometimes they have them hold off. Like it may be like the first time that they visited Miami or whatnot, and the kid absolutely loves it, but they do that purposefully. So you don't run into the situation where a kid commits to you off of emotion. And then, the process continues along and they see other places and there may be a fit for them that they like more. They don't want to have those issues where they're constantly having turnover like that. This is the least turnover we've ever seen in recruiting for Miami in a long time. I mean, you go back to Manny Diaz or Al Golden era, it was notorious for tremendous early commits. And then by the end of the cycle, you're like, man, where all the stars at? Like, there's only a couple guys. Juan Manuel said, Gio, but can any one of those 5-star plays defensive tackle? I'm with you, Juan Manuel. The all-time joke, can he play DT? Yeah, defensive tackle, very important. Miami's going to continue chopping there. Hassan said, Gio, the 2028 class is going to be sick, but how do they put Jet Harrison as the number 1 player over Amir Sears and Bryson Wright? And we can't have those two leave Miami, whatever. I agree with you on both of those guys that those are 2 guys Miami absolutely has to do their best to land. And in terms of Jet Harrison being number 1, surprising to me. I don't think the tape warrants it right now. I think Bryson Wright is a better prospect. I think the pass rusher from Arizona, they ranked number 2 actually in their most recent rankings drop or release for that class here. I think the pass rusher from Arizona has a much better case than Jet Harrison. I'm not saying Jet Harrison's terrible, which is Marvin Harrison's younger son, but I'm not seeing him being number 1 overall. I don't know. We'll see. Howard Stern said, Hassan, they always pick a Midwest legacy kid for more ratings. More people look at it. Everybody knows who the number 1 player in the country is. Very true.
That's a great point.
Geo Kane 75, our fans are never satisfied. Yes, sometimes it happens. Howard Stern. Also, Rivals and 247 will never pick the same player to be the number 1 player in the country. It's just business. I'm with you on that as well, Howard Stern. There will definitely be some deviation there. I don't think the both consensus have a number 1. Howard Stern also shared, we are never satisfied, just like Mario's never satisfied. Just like he told the team, 2026 Hurricanes haven't done shit. Howard Stern's got a point.
Howard Stern drinking the Mario Kool-Aid. What happened? I mean,
we've come a long way from that SMU loss, boy.
Someone slipped with Mario.
I agree with this statement that Raf Lopez said. Well, I don't know if I'll say for sure the deepest, but definitely competing for that title. He said the 2027 team will feature the deepest defensive back roster ever at Miami.
I agree.
I think it'll compete. I definitely think it'll compete with some of the best, but I don't know if you can call it the best until you see them perform on the field.
Correct. We got to see them perform for sure. And so much means that. I mean, how are the linebackers? They're a lot better defensive backs when they've got great linebackers and great line. That extra second, they hold the quarterback. The less a second less giving the quarterback changes everything.
Yep. Yeah. Juan Manuel shared Gio is just hungry. He needed a Snickers bar. Gio's not himself when he's hungry.
He's angry.
Wayne Matthews got me thinking his favorite series. Oh my goodness, the Matthews jokes continue rolling in. Howard Stern, Brett, can you please make the Mike Elko era T-shirts with a rainbow colored shirt, please, so we can put it all over Fort Lauderdale and St. Thomas Aquinas. Stacy E4S, Miami is way better than Texas A&M. Absolutely, they've proved it on the field.
Yep.
Lance Davis, watch comics on Canes for the full break. Yeah. Let's see. Raf Lopez Matthews was definitely offered a starting position as your leader. Man,
boy.
Tough crowd.
Bendy Arland, thank you for stopping. I probably butchered his name right now, but thank you for stopping by as a new viewer here. I hope they stop recruiting Matthews, to be honest. He's not going to come in here, and he just doesn't seem like a culture fit. Put those resources elsewhere. Yeah, I have certain feelings on that, but, Miami also tends to believe that, it's not over until that final bell rings in recruitment. And hey, it's worked out for them at times. Sometimes, it hasn't. But I don't think they'll be left empty-handed at the end of the day. They definitely do have some contingencies in place. Javon Mayfield, another new viewer. Thank you for stopping by. He said, "How with all these schools, someone the best offensive line when he plays right tackle in high school?" I think I understand what he's saying. Like, how do you know for sure this kid can play left tackle? Some coaches look at traits and stuff, how things can translate. But I'm with you. I've mentioned that specific narrative before. Like, no one really knows if he's going to be a good left tackle or not because he hasn't really played it yet. He's been a right tackle. Before that, playing defensive tackle. Lance Davis, they don't have female cheerleaders, just male Mighty Morphin Pooper Troopers at A&M. Raf Lopez, have to say I was very confused in questioning Matthews' recruitment by Mario. Juan Manuel, hey, I heard Matthews said is my Oh my God. Bleed Orange and Green, thank you for stopping by. By the way, Bleed Orange.
Oh, that's my guy.
Yeah,
he's got some of the best posts on X right now.
Oh yeah, they are flying on X, and I saw that they got into X because of the what was his name? Not
Marcus Lemonis.
Marcus went ahead and said that, and that was a great. And they're racking up. They are doing fantastic.
No, Bleed Orange and Green is posting some really damn good freaking content. Let me tell you. Yes,
absolutely.
Lance Davis, when commitments go bad. Raf Lopez, I'm guessing there are no masculine father.
And this press conference is going to be an all-timer the way all these comments are coming. Jeez, man, damn.
Yes.
Howard Stern shared here, every player is different. You can have Jason Fox type of player or Vince Wilfork. Those two players are great Hurricane players for two totally different type of players outside the field. Yeah, very true, Howard Stern. Mm-hmm. George, good friend here, actually from the chat.
Hi, Georgie.
Man, if Miami fans only knew what this guy knows, man. Let me tell you, George is plugged in.
Welcome, George, and the plug.
Anthony Monsanto, Gio, what are your updates on Gabriel Osborne? I don't think Gabriel Osborne is going to end up in Miami. I think it's going to be I think he stays home with Oklahoma. If it's not Oklahoma, I think a program like Ohio State would make sense there. I don't think it's going to be Miami. Trill and 954 new viewer, thank you for stopping by. He said, Matthews dodged a bullet, huh? Yeah, I think so to an extent. Mm-hmm. I went on earlier about the whole, dynamic with the team and mentality up front with the trenches. Mm-hmm. Ralph said, I predict Matthews would get homesick based on his immaturity and leave A&M within a year. Who knows?
I
again,
agree with that. And I think that, why go ahead? I mean, Fernando Mendoza said it best right before the California game. I will never be one of those guys when he was in Cal against the Canes that'll throw down the U. He said, I will never disrespect for the U. I rooted for them as a kid growing up. I'll never disrespect Florida State. And then you got these guys like disrespecting in there. I mean, I don't know if it's a total, but it's a little bit of a disrespect what he did. And like, hey, you're going to be a freshman. You're still a high school senior. And you're disrespecting, and you may have to come home. I mean, we'll take them in most cases, but today's hot superstar 5 stars, a lot of times tomorrow's busts.
Yeah, it happens plenty.
Let's print that on a shirt.
Raf Lopez, Elko era.
Elko era.
That's a good one.
Jose Gonzalez Jefferson is the cornerback whisperer. I'm starting to think so.
I mean, everybody was complaining. We got Jefferson, and we've got the tight end coach. There's no experience, and everyone, and all of a sudden we're nailing these recruits. I mean, how much was that Jefferson?
What do you mean?
How much of Jefferson is the reason we were able to flip right and other things? I mean, how much did he have to do with that?
Definitely played a factor into it. I mean, Will Harris
with us getting him.
Will Harris played into it too. Will Harris is a really good recruiter as well, but Terry Jefferson definitely deserves his flowers. Let me put it this way. Miami has their top overall guy on the cornerback board this year. They got their top nickel, and they got another great cornerback in Hall as well. And then they have Jalen Jones, who was like the biggest local guy. They wanted to get at safety. They wanted Land Hippolyte as well. They're pushing for Pittman and Snell as well. They're still working on a guy like Zayden Gamble too. So, look, I think the defensive back class is going to be really good, though. They're in a great position. And Terry Jefferson, absolutely, like I said, deserves his flowers. He does. I know some fans were lukewarm. Some fans actually liked it. Some fans said, hey, like the continuity. And I think that does play a factor. And I think people forget, too, Terry Jefferson, he worked hand in hand with Keontae Scott last year. If people forget this, he was the nickel coach. And aside from that, before he returned to Miami, because he grinded his teeth, worked his way up at the collegiate level, like even when he got to Miami and being on the staff with Mario when he was first here and whatnot. And then he went to Jacksonville State to get more experience. He helped coach Zachariah Poyser, who's one of Miami's starting safeties. I think people forget these things.
Before the next question, Mondo's baseball shirt just went ahead in the Old English M. Jarred my memory. I mean, did anyone see that X post with Keys, his triple in that game? I mean, he launched that ball and he stand-up triple in the championship series. I mean, is he going to play baseball here also?
I would love if he did.
I mean, because the guy obviously has a bat. He's obviously got speed. He's a pitcher also, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, really? Okay. Jeez.
He's a star.
Yeah, if you understand, he could go up to like 92 off the mound.
Yeah, he throws in the 90s. He can hit with power. I mean, he's got a great batting average. I confused why, baseball's not a bad sport to play if you're that good.
Yeah. If he can throw 90s, we'll take him. Definitely.
Raf Lopez, the Aggie cheerleader, spinning his announcement. Howard Stern, Pop Cooney got it out, like I said, for Mario. They're overspenders. They overpay at Texas A&M. Can't lie. South Florida got a lot of love. Yeah, it's true. Pop Cooney's got a lot of connections in South Florida. That is true. The all amazing Taco by. He said JV sucks. Man, one of the biggest, baddest, and best group chats in all of Canes Twitter. A lot of people stopping by tonight. Thank you for the love. Trill Ant said, boy, did one leg up twirl. Hans actually believed that Cincinnati knew about his gambling problem and didn't do anything about it. Interesting on the Sorsby situation. Sergio said he bet on Indiana to get closer to the team. He literally said that in the lawsuit. He did. I saw that. Anthony Monsanto said, Gio, in that report, they said he was live betting balls and strikes for the MLB and the professional leagues in Japan and Korea.
Wild.
That's wild.
Yeah, this guy, I don't know if I've read anybody to this extreme. This guy's like, man, wow.
Raf Lopez says Sorsby was who I wanted. Thank God I'm just the fan and not the coach. Hey, like I said, I know many fans were sour how that situation played out, and how Sam Levitt kept on dragging things on with Miami and the whole drama with his brother being his agent and everything. But I've said this before, things could be much worse, and it's not for Miami. You ended up getting Darian Mensah. I think it worked out great for Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Sorsby would be our quarterback, and on his he's looking at his wrist. He's looking at the Hard Rock Bet odds. Instead of the Mario screaming in his ear or Dawson. Yeah, hold on, coach. Yeah, give me 100 on. What?
That is a great video. If you were a graphics guy, that would be awesome.
Well said. Mark Matthews says Gio, Mondo, and Brett calling in. How dare and sassy of you. Those Miami boys are so crazy. Likes cowboys in uniforms, not backwards cap wearing weirdos.
I'm telling you, Stern, give him that cowboy hat.
Lance Davis, home of the 12th man, in the showers reaching for a one. Oh my God. Howard Stern, Wade Boggs had a 6. No wonder he bought it crooked like that. Oh my God. These comments are crazy. Jose Gonzalez, can you imagine the narrative if Miami got Sorsby? That would have been
ugly. Oh my God.
Yes. I can imagine the headlines and everything.
Oh my goodness.
Anthony Monsanto, honestly, I can't understand where this lawsuit is coming from with Brendan Sorsby and his lawyer. They believe that Cincinnati knew about his gambling problem and didn't cut it off at the past. Who knows at the end of the day?
But you know what? It's like the victimhood again. I mean, why blame? I mean, I know he was young, but if you're old enough to gamble, you're old enough to look.
Well, obviously, and plus, if you're talented, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Didn't the Oklahoma was it a Mateer? Didn't he have an issue at Oklahoma with the gambling as well? Am I wrong?
Yeah, there was
allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I think you're going to see it more and more. It is so difficult for these young guys. I mean, for everybody. But when you're young and you've got this phone and it does everything.
Yes.
I mean, it does casino. It does, Robinhood. It does gambling. It does DraftKings. It does everything. It's
times have definitely changed. I remember years ago, Brett, you could allude to this. Like, you would never fathom a sports team in Vegas. Never. You would never watch a game on TV, all power, and they're showing you the best parlay on the left-hand side of the screen that they think during the game from DraftKings. You would never, that's taboo. That was crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's like commonplace. Mm-hmm. So it's changed. It's totally flipped.
Betting on the tournament. When UNLV was in it, you couldn't bet on the tournament if they were in it. It was crazy.
It's insane. Lance Davis said, I'm addicted to the Miami Hurricanes, and if that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
I like that line. That's classic.
I like that.
Juan Manuel, get Sorsby, Abella Danger. She can get his mind off.
Bro, this guy's betting Turkish basketball. I don't think Abella or 10 Abellas is going to get his mind off betting.
He's what do we call it, Mondo? He's a full-on gambling degenerate.
Oh, he is. He's next level.
Let's see. Howard Stern said, honestly, I see the NCAA going to the 2014 play. Nobody cares about these ball games. Almost 90% of the players don't play the ball games. I'm with you. I'm with you, Howard Stern.
Correct. That would be the advantage of these guys. No, and I believe there may be kids that may step out. There were kids that don't play in some of these championship games. The Penn State quarterback last year, other people that said, hey, I'm not going to play.
Howard Stern said, I heard through the grapevine that Mark Matthews also turned down Abella Danger from
jeez.
Elko era. Juan Manuel, hey, TVD is a suspect gambler to me. TVD plays like he had money on the game. I've heard so many people say that. Look, I knew a couple people pretty close to TVD, like when I worked at Life Wallet years ago. I don't know. I who knows what the real story is.
I don't think so. He did a signing at CanesWear. Just didn't have the passion that was needed, I think.
Oh, no, I don't know. I saw a couple throws at NC State that might make me want to question. So,
Deerland said, I agree. If they must expand 16-team no spot. Yeah.
That's exactly at Benji Land. Exactly.
Let's see. 12 is enough. Just get rid of conference championship games and group of 5. Agreed, Raf.
Yeah,
There's
not big.
yeah, that
They
crap
have-
last year of having 2 teams in getting blown out at like those two. It's just ridiculous. Like those two
I
teams
don't
had
want to
no
sound
business.
rude. I don't want to sound rude to the group of 5 teams, but
No, the fuck that.
look,
Like,
hey, maybe one day they'll prove me wrong, but I don't see a group of 5 team ever winning a national championship.
and everybody loves everybody. Yeah. The great thing about March Madness is the Cinderella and all that, but I don't need to see 45-10 in a college football playoff game. It's ridiculous.
The Cinderella was a lot bigger before NIL. Now kids are staying longer. It was one and done. Now kids, even stars, are playing 2 and 3 years.
And as much as I hate Notre Dame, look, Notre Dame should have been ahead of Alabama if you ask me, because they were better than Alabama. But Notre Dame and/or Miami or Alabama would have gotten screwed because these 2 teams have to be in. Like, why? Why do they have to be in? It's ridiculous.
100%.
And they said the teams of the bye are 1 to 7 the last 2 years since the expansion to 12. If I'm the number 1 team, I'd rather have a tune-up game against number 16 instead of a bye when I've already got a month off. Agreed. Yeah, like Brett said, the history's in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding, man. 7 of the last 8 teams in the byes, they've all lost. They've all been eliminated. So
I'd rather not have the bye, like he says, and play 116, 215, 313. 314 if anyone's scoring.
Let's see, Johnny Jackson said, I see Miami recruiting my home state.
Oh,
yeah. Yes, they're trying to get a foothold in there. Hey, Wayne brought up a good point, Brett. He said 24 teams means more revenue for CanesWear.
More games if you win them. I mean, yes, that part of me says it's a great idea, but I'm just thinking like a fan right now.
I think if people want more games, you know what? Extend the regular season, remove the conference championship games, and just keep it at 12 teams. I think that's the best solution.
I think 12. And I didn't like 12 when it first started. I was like very against it, but now I think 12 is fine. It's good.
No reason to get buys. Do 16. I think we're CanesWear TV is going to be pushing for that. A lot of people worry about charities. We're worried about getting it right.
Oh, I like this idea from Juan Manuel, like that play-in bubble I mentioned earlier. He said it should be 14 max. Last 2 spots should be played for. I think the people would like that.
That's great. 14. If you go 14 and then 4 teams have to go, so that's a great idea. So that really is 18.
No, but to me, you got to reward somebody for the regular season. Like I understand your point, Brett, about the 16 teams no bye, but that like if I'm number 1, I got to play 16. 2's got to play 15. It doesn't make. I mean, that's crazy.
Right now they're 1 and 7. The teams of the bye. How is that rewarding them?
But to me, you should, just like in the NFL. I know there used to be 2 teams in each conference. Now it's only 1. But to me, you should get a reward. If you're the number 1 team in America, what's your reward? Playing number 16, Missouri?
That's what happens. That's what happens in college basketball. College basketball is a great tournament, even though they expanded it to 700 teams.
776.
Howard Stern said they need to change the Wake Forest game to a Saturday game. So damn effing shame playing all these Friday games Thursday game. Yeah, it's weird to start the season like that.
Why is that one on a Friday? I have no idea. Yeah. That's strange.
Go Canes said, let's go. Leave no doubt. Thank you for stopping by. Go Canes. Howard Stern said, if you put Alabama or Auburn to play on a Friday night, there will be an effing riot. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, there's no way that'll happen.
Lance Davis said here, James Franklin will have beat Virginia Tech turned around before FSU gets there.
No doubt at all. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. I think within 2 or 3 years, he's going to have B teams really, really good. I think.
Yeah, I think he's got a great situation there. It's not like
expectations.
Yeah, the expectation wise and everything. Yeah, I do think he'll have them humming pretty well.
Yeah.
Better for the conference Miami's in, just a little more competition.
No, he's a proof. Did he win it all? No, but his track record, I mean, he went far numerous times. So
Juan Manuel joined the giveaway thing. He's okay. So he said
Notre Dame 89. And that is we're about an hour and 15 minutes, 20 minutes behind on these. So
yeah, I got a couple minutes left. I got to be up at 4:30. So I don't mean to be rude.
I probably should announce it. Yeah, Mondo's giving us his 2-minute warning. Let's go. Let's pick one now. Gio, we start at 11:30, 1 hour later. So pick a winner. So see if it's.
Let's see. From what I got here, I'm gonna go with.
Drum roll, please.
Jose Gonzalez, you're the winner tonight.
Jose, congratulations, Jose.
All
You
right.
are the winner of the $25 CanesWear gift card. Which game did he pick? It was random, I know, but what game did he pick?
I'd have to go way back up. There's been so many comments tonight, but
All right. Well, anyway, Jose Gonzalez, go ahead, email or message Gio, Mondo, myself, CanesWear, just message us on X or wherever, and let us know. Make sure, just give us, if you have, hopefully you have a CanesWear rewards account, just give me your email, and that'll pull it up. If you don't, just give us your email and your full name. Okay, $25 gift card won. Jose Gonzalez, thank you for everyone that participated. We'll be doing more contests each and every show.
Kevin Andino said, any news on Nick Lanier taking his visits to other schools? I know that's a situation that Miami was going to be discussing with him, so we'll see. Bleed Origin Green said, my guys, thank you. Thank you. Ralph Lopez, 2000 FSU of Miami, hottest damn game ever. The Orange.
Yes.
Yes.
It was 190 at that stadium that day because I was there. My God. It was blazing.
First. The Duck said, I won't comment offensive insults so Gio doesn't read them aloud and hurt the channel.
Like a ducky.
My pick is the Cornell Duke kickoff return with 14 laterals for the win.
That was a great one. Actually, we said 10:30. We're reading it, and this is 10:20 time.
Brett, did you ever have the answer for that question you asked about the two receivers?
No, the receivers. It wasn't for anything, but I don't think we're not at that time yet. But I'll give it right. Okay. I said flipper. I said one of them was the mascot of the team. It was Flipper Anderson.
Okay.
The other guy would have been for the Miami Dolphins, which is my favorite Dolphin of all time. Does anyone know who it is? 20.1 yards a catch, 100 touchdowns on. He caught a touchdown every 5 times he caught the ball. One of them.
I would guess either Duper Clayton. One of them.
Duper or Clayton.
Really?
It was number 42, in my opinion, the closest thing to Jerry Rice ever.
Paul Warfield.
Okay. Paul Warfield.
Amazing. I think, like I said, I think what do you have? Either 80 or 100 touchdowns on just phenomenal. Paul Warfield was. And 20.1 yards per catch.
Healed 919 said, just watched the 2017 recruiting class highlight reel. Robert Burns was such a beast. Yeah. He was a tremendous athlete coming out of high school. He had a lot of injuries and everything. I know he finished his career pretty strong at UConn, though. Jedi Joshua, okay, I hear you. 24 is a bit much, but also Power 4 teams don't need Gifted to win by playing in FCS every year. That is true. He's got a point. It's absurd. 3 win, need 11 Power 4 games and 1 G5. Every Power 4 team. Agreed.
Good point.
M. Lemon said, any traction with candidates? We spoke about Caden Henderson earlier. They're still working through that. Them, Texas, Miami, Texas A&M, Notre Dame's in the mix there. LSU as well. So those are the main teams competing.
How many podcasts can say we have Howard Stern and Ralph Lauren? I mean, really.
Ralph Lauren said this. Let's see. Ralph Lopez. We don't need Matthews. I'm going to start rifting through these, actually. A lot of them we've already actually answered. Lance Davis said, Right Miami was built on elite Jedi Knight linebackers. I will huff and puff this till we get the 5-star stud. I agree with you, Lance, but I think that guy closest to being that like big-time stud is A.J. Randall. I highly suggest you turn on the tape.
Mondo, you have anything to say before you leave? I know you're going to have to leave soon. You got to get up, 4:30 in the morning?
No, I'll hang around for a couple more minutes. I'm all right for it now.
Gamer this month.
One Manuel said, hey, you guys did really original concept. Who were early? What's that? Oh, no, we did one Manuel. Okay. M. Lemon, triple OT game versus Clemson. That's a good one, too. What Lemon Management said, that triple OT game, the one that Emory Williams played in, that was,
Oh, that was a great game. You're right. That was the game that we had a safety and they didn't give it to us. Wasn't that the case?
Yes.
That was an awesome game. That was huge, actually, for us. We beat Virginia the next week, I think, in overtime as well.
Let's see. Tris for Life 718. Stephen Morris to Philip Dorsett versus NC State. That's a good one too. How Stephen Morris had like avoided the pass rushers and even got it downfield to Dorsett as well. He was streaking across.
Yeah, that was amazing. Dorsett, one of the great Miami receivers that they don't talk about. I know he dropped the 2 balls against Notre Dame, but he had a great career and was a first-round draft pick.
Let's see. Hassan said, wasn't the Virginia loss that got Golden fired? No, it wasn't the Virginia that Clemson game.
Virginia loved playing Golden every year.
Yeah, they had his number every time. Howard Stern, I was at the 48-0 game against Virginia in the handicap section in the back of the field goal post with my uncle. First time I ever seen UM fans fighting each other, bloodbath. He's talking about in the Orange Bowl. Wow.
Yeah, that was just a sad way to go out.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
I remember The Rock was like the MC for like opening up that game before kickoff and everything.
Yep.
Heart of Sports. So when we get the top 5 linebacker AJ Randall at the end of the week, well, that's Brooksville Kane, thank you for stopping by. He said, Gio, it looks like we may have dodged a bullet with Matthews. Did not look like a CMC kind of guy. Yeah, could be possible.
I agree.
Yes, it was UVA, not Clemson. Raf, the gym that. How close were we from getting Fernando Mendoza last year, and why wasn't he the first choice? There was some interest there. Georgia was another program that was heavily interested in Fernando Mendoza too. Miami really was just like zeroed in on like Carson Beck, and there's even some discussion of Quinn Ewers there too. They weren't like hyper focused on Fernando though.
I mean, do we win a championship with Fernando? I don't know. I mean, it's possible.
Who knows? Howard Stern said the comeback against Florida in the Orange Bowl, Brock Berlin, the second half was basically unstoppable. Very true. Said Travis Benjamin. Yes, it was Travis Benjamin who had that game-winning touchdown. Harris was playing with an injured throwing hand in that game. I forgot about that. KCG 305, thank you for stopping by. Miami bullying OSU 24-14, the defending national champion and number 2 Ohio State in the college football playoff Cotton Bowl.
That's correct. I agree.
It's hard to agree with that one after everything that's transpired over the last 20-something years.
Yeah.
No, you're right. That kind of guy, and we just, hope we never lose to them again. Strong words.
Fuzzy Faust was great. Howard Stern said,
retiring Faust in that Notre Dame game was phenomenal. I was there sitting right under the band. I was deaf by the time the game was over.
Howard Stern, Wemby went crazy. Unfortunately, nobody can defend him in Oklahoma City. Very true.
I had San Antonio to win it all last year at Bondo. It didn't do me. I'm always a year short, $1 late.
Well, I think OKC will win tomorrow and tie the series. We'll see.
Possum Jenkins, who, if any, recruits that we currently have? Oh, so I already answered that.
Some of them are coming around.
Lance Davis said, second favorite team is whoever is playing Ohio State.
Yeah.
Possum Jenkins, is CanesWear going to take Peter Rees out of the portal? Devon Mayfield, why would Miami want a guy that acted like that? Are we strong on that? True. Lance Davis, I need that win with Duke Cornelder. Make sure you get that CanesWear app plug for 60% off 16-year anniversary. Correct, Lance Davis. Download the CanesWear app.
Absolutely.
Lance Davis said he has the app for proof. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Jose Gonzalez, Michael Yo has his stay away from DJ Khaled. Can you ask him to add Mark to the list? Brett, I don't know if you saw that segment that I had with Michael Yo. He put it on. He had this made. It was keep Khaled away. Oh my God! I'll send you the video after this.
I got to see that.
No, I know. And then I was in the crowd in the Natty, and I look up. I was in I think it was the West End Zone. I look up at the suite, and you see DJ Khaled with Fat Joe. I'm like, yeah, we lost.
In Russ We Trust, thank you for stopping by. He said, damn, I must have been under a rock. Haven't seen Gio live in a while. Russ, I think you have been under a rock. I've been on live quite a bit, actually.
Absolutely.
Howard Stern said, Viva John Marie's life wallet forever. Devon Mayfield, are y'all talking about Miami about to take a USC? Yes, we were talking about the Eli Woodard situation earlier. Canes fan 1424. What's good, fellas? Late to the show, but just want to say go Canes. And it's nice to see Mario and staff shoving the whole West Coast in a damn locker. Yeah,
Go
it's not
Canes.
exclusive.
Baby Canes fan.
Go Canes.
That locker shoving is not exclusive to Florida. It's not exclusive to just Georgia. The West Coast can get those hands too from Mario.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Andino, it was a good balance. D-Money stated. I'm not going to get into that, Kevin. Jay Easler said Pete doesn't give Cam Ward his respect like he should. But everyone has their own opinion. I think, to me, Cam Ward was one of the most talented players I've ever seen play at Miami.
Correct. He may be the most talented quarterback. He probably was the most talented quarterback to play at Miami.
Howard Stern said D-Money is in love with Mario, like Mark Matthews is in love with Mike Apple. Pete can't stand that. Let's see. Jose Gonzalez said Keyshawn Johnson earlier to your question earlier, Brett.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I thought Keyshawn played earlier than that.
Big Mode 9544. Mike Williams, USC.
Mike Williams is that? Boom.
Nice.
That's the guy I was thinking about.
Heart of Sports. I thought they planned for Pete to play Davis, and it just so happened to be Pete's not sure. I hope they split because just for different spin. All right, Devon Mayfield. None of the players on the USC championship team made it to the Hall of Fame. That's crazy. Wait.
Yeah, I read. Yeah, none of them did. And they talked about that. Someone had a post on that today. How many of our guys made the Hall of Fame? So it's comparing USC receivers to Miami receivers.
You're talking about the NFL Hall of Fame, you mean?
Yeah, the NFL Hall.
Yeah, I believe they're talking about the NFL Hall of Fame.
Well, we have multiple guys with 10,000 yards. Obviously, Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson, Santana Moss. I didn't realize Santana got 10,000 yards.
And there's still some like really, really good receivers that can't, not just Hurricanes, that can't get in. Like receivers a very tough position. Reggie Wayne. I think Torrey Holt hasn't gotten in either, unless I'm wrong.
Torrey Holt was a beast. You're right.
No, I don't think he's got in yet.
And Torrey Holt's a monster. Like it's really difficult to get in.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Mullet TV, the Duck himself. He said, "Where does D-Money get his wigs?" I'll tell you this, Duck. I know D-Money in person is not a wig.
The best hair in show business, I tell you.
Juan Manuel, none of comments got it. I have been no, you've never been banned, Juan Manuel. Chevy Boy said, Peter, oh my God, Jesus, so much going on about this. But I wouldn't do the same thing. Don't think it was a grief. All right. Martin Dubé said, thank you, Martin, for stopping by from the other side of the world, my man. He said, morning, guys. What info is there on Brewster and DJ Jacobs? I don't think Jalen Brewster is going to be a recruitment that Miami gets too involved into. I just, everything I've heard on that recruitment is just, I don't think that's going to be a direction Miami goes. But DJ Jacobs, they're definitely still very actively involved with. I know Oregon's another program that's trying to get in the mix there for him too. Howard Stern, Brett, we need some A Bella Danger shirts with the U in the center of you know what.
I'm sure, being the redheaded stepchild of the University of Miami, they would just love that about me. You know, we're the only guys independent; everybody else is part of the school system. So I'm sure they love that.
Let's see. Sergio mentioned this. This is interesting. He said, "What do you guys think of that Florida bill that would force non-traditional student athletes to play sports at a high school in the county they live in? How would that change things over there?" I haven't seen that yet. That would be a big change because they had that whole look. You could go anywhere you want to go.
I heard that not too long ago too. I think that would be that would be interesting. I mean, that's the way it was when I grew up. I mean, everybody played at their own school.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody played. You weren't going, you know, you played at Norland, you played at Northwestern, you played at American. Obviously, you know, Beach High, North Miami Beach, everyone played where they played.
Yep.
Let's see, Bleed Orange and Green said hi, Aaliyah.
There you go.
James Kane, thank you for stopping by, James Kane. Heart of Sports again. Okay, praise one. Better Duck. He switched to his Twitter account. He said,
I know he switched. What is this?
Switcheroo.
he's-
No switcheroo.
he is convinced that D-Money has a wig. All right. James Kane, 4001. Daniel Cuvée is done unless something drastic changes. True.
Yeah.
After he's done for the season.
Yeah, he's got a serious back injury.
Oh wow.
Howard Stern, nice Mondo. I went to Hialeah High from 2000 to 2003.
Oh, there you go. Then he must have played with Jonathan, the coach he mentioned. There you go. Awesome. I had no idea.
Man, I don't even know how to do this. Temula Walk Institute. Temula Walk Institute. Okay. I agree with you. Okay. Only TV said
click. I don't think
James Kane 4001. JD deserves to be fired. We are worst pitching coach and team and lead league and errors. Definitely a lot of strong opinions on JD right now. Hey, Juan Manuel has been banned. No, you haven't been banned, Juan Manuel. Silva, could Jackson Cantwell go number 1 overall? I think it's been quite some time since a lineman has gone, at least an offensive lineman going number 1 overall, hasn't it?
What's his name? Number 1 for the Dolphins that they passed up on Matt Ryan, and they took
Jake Long.
Jake Long from Michigan went number 1 for the Dolphins.
Did he go number 1 overall?
I think he went number 1.
Number 1.
We took him over. We took him over Matt Ryan, or was he number 2?
Yeah, well, I know Tony Mandarich was number 2 to the overall, I believe. Yeah,
Mr. Steroid. I mean, I thought he was going to be unbelievable.
That guy ate steroids.
James Kane said, every time a pitcher not named Evans comes up, I am reminded of Charlie Sheen before he got glasses in Major League.
That was classic.
A great movie. Great movie.
I do that again.
The pitching's been rough, so I
he is a pitching coach, right? Which is kind of strange, and then the errors are just it's mental, but
it's baffling. It's baffling.
So I mean, I want his whole story, JD, and everything like that, but we shall see. If there's a star available, it'll be interesting.
I mean, well documented. You know what happened with his family. That's obviously anybody that's a father. That's awful. I really am rooting for him. I think probably because of that more than anything. But
yes,
there is, it's this year hasn't been what I expected. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, Jankineer. Have there ever been any recruits you wish Miami just didn't recruit, or at least stop recruiting? Maybe like once or twice in the Cristobal era. Like there's just certain interactions I've had with certain recruits over the years that I was just kind of like, I don't know if he's a fit for Miami, but not so much in the Mario era, but there's definitely quite a few in like Manny Diaz era and whatnot. I was just like thinking to myself, like, why is Miami even recruiting this kid? Like it just didn't make sense. So yeah, it's definitely happened.
Yeah.
Lance Davis, Andre Johnson, Jose Gonzalez said Randy Moss. They were talking about your NFL question. Hadid Johnson said, hey, fellas, does the football team have an alternate uniform for this upcoming season? So,
what do you got, Gio? What do you got?
Can't go into specifics, but yes, there is some type of jersey coming this year. Stay tuned. Howard Stern, if Andre Johnson would have played with better quarterbacks in the NFL, he could have gone down as one of the all-time top 5 receivers ever. Yeah, I think if you talk about pure talent-wise, he's definitely in that conversation.
Yeah, I believe his best Matt Schaub. That was his best quarterback, Matt Schaub.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Vink's backup. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally, you're right. It's very
Canes fan 1424 said Eiking Hall is ranked number 39 on Rivals. There you go. Like I was talking about earlier, there's a good chance he could creep into that 5-star status. He's right outside of it.
Yeah.
Jose Gonzalez, Willie.
That's
Willie
a great
Galt.
catch. 20 yards. Yeah, Willie Galt wasn't one of them.
Yeah,
but
Willie Galt was fast as hell. Yep.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Blue Green Street said, Mondo, he said, the ball is flying in Charlotte at the ACC tournament. Already 19 home runs
Wow.
hit through 3.5 games.
Yeah, every year in that ballpark, the ball. Yeah, good point. We'll see tomorrow. Hopefully, Miami can send some flying, but it's definitely not a. It's like batting practice. It's crazy.
It's not pitcher friendly park.
No, that's what I was trying to say. There you go. You can tell it's midnight.
I mean, there's still questions coming in, and we're 30
Yeah,
minutes.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop off. But thanks to everybody watching, because I got 4 hours of sleep. So, go Canes, and thanks for everybody for watching, and you guys as always. So, much love, baby. Go Canes.
You're
Take
right.
care,
Thank you for joining
guys.
us.
Howard Stern, DJ Jacobs is going to be an F and star, open checkbook, give him all of life wallet money now. Geo Kane 75, thank you for stopping by. He said, if you had your choice, what conference would you rather be in, the Big Ten or the SEC? I think I would say SEC because of the biases that goes on with that conference, but the one that makes the most sense for Miami is the Big Ten, the historical rivalries, how they fit academically. That is the best fit. That's where I do expect Miami to go when the TV contracts come up right before 2030.
You know, there's an article today about the SEC and the Big Ten wanting to pull out and be their own, and it says they may get, if they get what they wish for, it could be a problem because the Big Ten has won the championship 3 years in a row, but the SEC is faltering fast. So we'll see how that works.
James Kane 4001 said SEC, Possum Jenkins, given the level of where we're recruiting at, would you consider it a failure if we don't win a championship in the next 3 to 4 years? I don't know if I would consider it a failure, but like if they're in a national title game again, or you're literally like one game away from playing in the national title, I don't know. It's all subjective, honestly.
It's all subjective, but I would think the average Kane fans expects us to win a championship before this decade is over.
Yeah. Let's see. Give him. Howard Stern said, I'm going to give you a little nugget. There's going to be an important meeting with the Blades family this week because Benny Blades got banned for going on the Nevin show. Really? I haven't heard about that.
That's very interesting that he knows that. Okay.
Howard Stern, I'm going to give you – oh, wait. So you mentioned that. Kane Jones said audio lost.
Sorry, let me take a picture of that one. I didn't think that interesting.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Muhammad Hussein said, Mark Zesty Matthews. Howard Stern. There are certain high schools, especially Miami Central, Miami Northwestern, for example, Mario and Miami. Morley Bell. Do we have a real chance with Quentin Hale? How would I describe real chance? Yeah, there's always an opportunity there, but he's just not as receptive as Woodard has been with his recruitment. USC is also trying to lock down Hale, but I would never rule out like Miami potentially getting the kid in for like a game day visit, like when things settle down. Like a lot of teams are on high alert, especially going into the summer. They're like trying to play defense, trying to prevent kids from visiting this school or that school or whatnot. So it may be difficult right now, but I wouldn't be shocked if Miami circles the block again if they don't get an ex receiver in the class during the summer. It wouldn't shock me at all. Geo Kane 75. Miami's 1-10 in South Bend all time. 1984 was the last win in South Bend, but we all know they stole that fake fumble game, which would have got us another national championship. You talking about the 80s? Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, it's tough to win over there. We'll see. Jose Gonzalez, breaking news. Sorry, just signed a record-breaking NI deal with FanDuel. Raf, the gym dad. My favorite game was the Miami, Ohio State from last year. It took over 20 years, but the payback was sweet. Absolutely. E. Whitty, thank you for stopping by. He said, what's up, guys? Glad I caught the show today. Gio, quick question. Who are your must-gets for the 2027 class? I think you got a few of them already in there. Nick Lanier. Getting Dante Wright was a really big deal. DJ Jacobs, I think, is one of those guys you classify. AJ Randall, I'd say that. Some people, there's depends on who you talk about it with around Miami, but some people think he may be a better prospect than Caden Henderson, so it depends. Myson Johnson Cook would have been great, I think, just from a pure athletic standpoint and like what he could potentially bring to the table. But we'll see if Miami could circle the block there again. If Auburn doesn't have a great season. Those are just certain names that come to mind. I think Miami's doing really well recruiting, but if I had to circle another specific name that maybe not enough people are talking about, Torrey Pittman, for the kid that's committed to Nebraska from the state of Nebraska, that safety, tremendous player. I turn on the tape, really good player. Jedi Joshua, I think it stinks to miss on the defensive tackles more than Matthews, but I think this is a really good class so far. Rankings are wonky. They had Tony as a 3-star. Absolutely good points, Jedi Joshua. And I think Miami, they'll get theirs at D tackle. They really did make a really good dent in the Fuller Run Show commitment. Recruitment. Sorry. Juan Manuel, hey, tell us on the Louisville linebacker that came late. Can he maybe contribute this year or later on? Well, I'm going to tell you, you should too be rewarded with a discount card for being first. But on the Louisville linebacker, the kid from Kentucky. So you're talking about Karsten Bush, who arrived on campus this week. He's about 6'2", 6'3", over 235 pounds. Naturally, already one of the strongest guys in that linebacker room. Is the weight room junkie is what he's described as. Not exactly sure how much he'll play yet. I think, I'm more so waiting on what's the feedback coming out of, individual teamwork, like the players are doing together, outside of stuff with the coaches that they can't do around this time of the year. And then kind of what's the first look on him, like that first week or 2 weeks of fall camp. So it's still a little too premature to say. Juan Manuel said, hey, Robert Burns got hurt brushing his teeth after breakfast. That's not nice, Juan Manuel. E. Whitty, Jakari Brown legacy game versus Georgia Tech. I remember that.
That was a good game.
Carlos Montilla said Miami in Michigan in 1988. Isn't that the game that Steve Walsh had the comeback?
Yeah, that is the great comeback in that game. That was awesome. Miami beating Michigan in 84. Didn't we beat them in 84 as well in Jimmy's first year? It was a great game, but the comeback game again in 88 was phenomenal.
Juan Manuel shared, hey, can we see a surprise on the O-line with Max Buchanan at center, Jay Wilkerson moving to tackle and record? I don't think that'll specifically happen. Hassan, Gio, who's the new DT from Texas? Miami is recruiting. Honestly, not sure. I'll let you know. I'm kind of drawing a blank on that one. South Florida, Greg, Spurs have beat the Thunder 5 out of 6 times.
I think it's a good matchup for the Spurs. Mondo thought OKC, but I'd love to see the Spurs take them out.
Juan Manuel said Jakari Brown could have been a very good receiver. Absolutely agree. He was a really good athlete. Why didn't he give himself a chance like Malachi Fields did? I'm hoping Kellen Wiley shows up. 245 pounds, plays edge. He can rush the passer.
What about a tight end? Could he have been Jakari Brown? He was quite the athlete.
Yeah. E. Whitty said, Gio, if Hayden Lowe puts it all together during the fall, where do you see him in the rotation? I think that top 4 to 5 group. Mm-hmm. Juan Manuel said here, Mark Matthews, what does College Station have that South Beach at night doesn't have? Cowboys, cheerleaders. D-Briz, thank you for stopping by. He said, how are we looking with Caden Henderson, the linebacker? What about the defensive line from Texas we just offered? I don't have much on the D lineman from Texas, but on Henderson, though, I think Miami's trying to play a little catch up there with Texas A&M, but it's not like a done deal yet. So they're still chipping at that. And he's asked here, who do we get, Bryant and or Jacobs? I think Miami's in a better position right now with DJ Jacobs. I've heard some conflicting things though on Jaden Bryant, like from the stance of like long shot or, if Miami can get him back on campus again, things could get a little interesting. It's kind of all over the place. Juan Manuel, has Jason Taylor noticed Kellen Wiley? I'm shocked that Jason Taylor is in bringing KFC buckets of chicken and milk. Takes to fatten Kellen Wiley to get him to move the edge. He did really well at linebacker this spring. He took a step forward, to be honest.
We need linebackers. Johnny
Jackson, the Emperor. Yeah, Miami is recruiting Texas hard. Yep, they are. Sergio said, Gio, what do we know about that linebacker? That's fun. So I already answered that about Karsten Bush. E. Whitty said, Gio, what are your thoughts on wide receiver Trey Moore? great big wide receiver. He's about like 6'3", 6'4" range. Washington in the mix. Ohio State. I've heard some discussion about potentially even Texas Tech trying to throw their hat into the mix for him, but also Miami involved as well. He's expected to make a decision after official visits this summer, so we'll see. But Miami's very much in the mix down the stretch here. So, they are one of the finalists, and not like a placeholder finalist, like they're actually in it. Debra has said, any news on the AD search? Haven't heard much on it, but we'll see as things progress. Radakovic's actual retirement is in a couple weeks here. Canada Kane, thank you for stopping by. He said, we are not talking about that much about the kicking unit. What do you think about our special teams? Well, very small sample size they gave us to see during spring. Jake Weinberg, the transfer from Florida State, the one field goal he attempted in the spring game, he hit. It's good. But I'm with you. Want to see a little more in fall camp to see where things are at with that. So Jake Weinberg, Jack Olson competing there, one of the transfers from Florida State, the other transfer from Northwestern. Weinberg likely is going to be the kickoff guy, though. I could give you that. Really, really big leg. He does really well. And last one of the night, Sergio said, what's the Arizona tea flavor tonight? Sergio, I did not get the Arizona tea this time, actually. It was in quite a rush. We had some technical difficulties earlier, but hey, we got everything done. We got the cameras fixed. We got the lighting fixed and everything.
The
Microphones, yeah. There was an issue with the audio, just Mondo being able to hear me being able to hear Mondo, all that craziness. But thank you to everyone that stopped by. We had so many viewers tonight, actually. A really, really good show tonight, considering all the circumstances with technical difficulties and the delays and everything. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, it's right there in that corner, the subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/CanesWear. You can search up CanesWear right on the YouTube search bar. It'll come right up. You'll see a bunch of videos. More shorts are coming as well. I know plenty of you love the shorts content. More of that is coming up. And as always, make sure to shop at CanesWear, 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida, right next to the famous La Spada Hoagies. Or download the CanesWear app on your smartphone app store, Google Play Store, Apple Store as well, the App Store. Any closing thoughts, Brett?
I'd say a great show. I mean, almost a record crowd today. Just phenomenal for a, what is today, Tuesday night? We're past midnight. We're Wednesday morning, the only show live going through the wee hours of the night. We love this live format. We're going to do this a couple of times a week at least. Gio, you're starting something new tomorrow, right? Very soon.
Yep. For the people that have still stuck around, there is a 30 to 40 minute format of a show that begins tomorrow. It's going to be multiple times a week that people will see on the channel. Obviously not, the live format, me taking a whole bunch of questions and everything, but just quick snippets of stuff, like relevant stuff, things that are coming up, anything that I could share along the way that's important about the program, about the football program, or basketball, any other sports in terms, but mostly football. 30 to 40 minute format. I know many of you will really like that. I know live is not for everyone. I know some people watch after it's done being live, or they watch the next day, but working on possibly getting that to become like a daily thing too, long term. We shall see.
Now, that'll be great. So like Gio mentioned, like and subscribe. We've got we've got a You Family shirt coming in this week or next week, a really cool one, a throwback. We've got another one, a great shirt coming in as well, a brand new shirt we've never had. Lots of new stuff will start trickling. Will come in big time in July. Tons of hats are coming in. Some new suppliers that we're looking at that we're excited about as well. Remember, on the app right now, it is our 16th anniversary. Right now, we've got 16% off on the app. So go to the app and you'll be able to get the 16%. and that only works on the app right now. We'll be doing some other specials very soon as well. And so just it's exciting. We're 108 days away, I think, from Canes. 107 now since it's 12/12.
107 now.
We will be starting at the 99-day mark. We will be starting. We've got some with great graphics and videos on the countdown, which is right around the corner. And once you get within 100 days, it just moves so fast, Gio. So
Yes.
we don't want life to go by too fast because it is flying by. And whoever's watching this show knows that it's just moving, and the older they get, faster it moves. So let's just look forward to Canes football. Canes in the baseball ACC tournament tomorrow. Basketball looking amazing with what Coach Lucas is doing. So if you're a Cane fan, there hasn't been a better time than we're experiencing right now. Thank you again for everybody for joining the show. Check out more of our stuff soon. Like and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you, Mondo, for jumping in. He was awesome today. So we appreciate you all, and go Canes.
Go Canes.